Hi. Hi, everybody. 19 viewers. Wow, cool.
Yeah, that's nice. Cool. And we're on time.
Yes,
Once
we
for
did better than last time,
yeah.
definitely. Last time we were significantly behind.
Thank you so
Well,
much
welcome,
to
everybody.
everybody that is here. Oh, maybe I'm gonna take a little screen to put it online because it's not our usual time.
True. I wonder if this works better for people later in the day.
Yeah, I wonder too. I mean, the cool thing about this is that I believe more people can watch in America, like in the continent. Because normally when we do it in the morning, the whole continent of America is sleeping, basically. And some people have to wake up very early. So. And right now, everybody's awake, like in, I think, Canada, US, Mexico, Argentina. I don't know.
It's true. 6 o'clock here is really the ideal time everywhere.
I might tweet about it with a little pic that I took.
Yes, please. Someone says, oh, 𝗷𝗶𝗀𝗀 says yes, 1 p.m. on the East Coast, US now, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, I
Wait a
heard a camera.
Yeah, but then Char's eyes are closed, and I don't feel like being
That's notorious. I can never keep my eyes open for any type of picture.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna try one more time.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Okay, cool. No.
Okay.
Says that they're finally watching the stream, not half asleep. Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, that's Danielle, actually. Hi, Danielle. Good morning. I mean, decent time. Yeah, because he sometimes wakes up for us, like at 5. Which is crazy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Thank
we've
you
had
so
a few
much for
viewers get on with us at like really impressive hours. Okay.
I wanted to promote a little bit extra since Char is here, so
Yeah.
I'm afraid that we were on the phone a little bit
Sorry.
reminding people that we're live.
curiouslyminded. Twitch.slash.
So yeah, for everybody today, hi.
Today's a special
Hi,
day.
Tim. Oh, Tim is here too. Thank you for helping me with the whole thing, by the way, now, as you see. And please tell me or tell us, but I'm the one handling the streaming, if the sound is all right for everybody. Please tell us in the chat when something is not right.
Yeah, if anything sounds weird, please don't hesitate. People have been being very nice and sitting through entire streams with like an echo. You guys don't need to do that. Please let us know.
Yeah, you won't hurt our feelings, so please tell us if something is wrong. And by the way, we're very happy today because we have our first guest in the stream after a month of streaming, and that is the wonderful Char Stiles.
Yay.
I'm so happy to be here. I've been loving your streams. I've been loving seeing what y'all have made. And I'm super honored to be here.
Yeah. Well, we're super honored to have you in part. I mean, not only just because you're awesome, but also because it's thanks to you, as you know, I think, you know, that you're the reason Ilithya and I met. Yeah. So I don't know. I just like that kind of serendipitous stuff. It makes me really happy.
Yeah, me too. Because anyway, I wanted to mention that I feel now, again, full circle. Because thanks to your wonderful shader workshop, we end up meeting.
In the breakout room.
Oh, y'all had a breakout room together.
Yeah, yeah.
That Zoom feature isn't just, you know, all for. It did have a good thing come out of it. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's funny because like I think a few weeks before Ilithya had found me on Instagram, and I remember on Twitter. You followed me on one of the platforms, and I remember because you have a very specific name, and I was like, that's such a nice name.
So
and then we were in the breakout room together, and I was like, oh wait, I think I know who you are. And then
that was amazing.
And then we started chatting. So
yeah, you're my star students.
Oh.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, I'm streaming with my star students, even though I feel like I feel like that dynamic is like completely now. It's just we're just friends. But
Are you gonna do them again? By the way, question this year. Like, are you gonna give more shader workshops this year, or are you taking a break from that?
I think I'm taking a break right now. None are planned. But I have like a pitch deck to do like a whole series with my friends. What is it? Shader.lab. I know we're like taking up all the shader domains, but we're just waiting for someone to pick up our series so that like it's me, Dan Gorelick, who I play with a lot, Max 𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗀, and Zach Crowell, who are others.
Is Dan who you did the performance for GitHub Universes?
Mm-hmm.
So awesome. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, he's like super skilled at title and music stuff like
that. Was great. Ooh, if you guys can hear things outside, let me know. I just opened my door, but it should be okay.
I think it's good ambient sound.
Yeah, you get some like of the Paris sirens in the background.
I say that my sound comes only from the left, but I mean, as long as the sound is not like scratchy, I think I'm gonna leave myself in the left channel for now.
I think in OBS it's the top. If you feel like moving it, it's the top slider in the audio for you. I could be wrong.
Ah, okay. And if I push it more, they will start listening to me in the two ends?
Maybe. But also, I'm not 100% sure because you're on a Mac and I'm on a PC, so the settings could be different. But yeah.
Audio is crystal clear. Thank you. Okay. Nerd Disco.
Okay.
Yay.
I think for now, as long as it's not scratchy again, I think I will let myself being in the left side of their ears for some people.
You're like the angel and the devil like thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You like
True. Is it 1 p.m. where you are, Char?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Oh,
is that because there's the time changed? It's because of that. That's because in my head it's the 6 hours, but no. Oh, okay, we're like an extra hour separated. So yeah. Well, because normally it is 6. In my I know that by heart because in New York is near Can't in Montreal. So in my head, I'm always 6 hours from family. But no, for like a short period of time, there is an extra hour added. Anyways,
amazing.
But cool.
I'm going to switch what time zones this year.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Okay, wait. I just opened my Twitch. I didn't realize we already had Char's amazing code editor open. Do you want to tell us about your project?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. So this is the first time I'm debuting a new project that I'm working on at the Studio for Creative Inquiry as a part of the open source art tools making residency. And I'm super happy to be supported by the Frank Ratchey Studio for Creative Inquiry to make this collaborative shader editor called shader.place. And it lives on the URL shader.place. It'll open up a page that'll ask you for your room. And you type in like any room that you want to share with someone else. So it can be like your room can be named like cat. And then so if 2 people go in the same room named cat, then you'll be sharing the same shader. You can edit it together. And so you see here, it is super beta. It functions and I'm happy for that. There's a lot of stuff I want to add. I have a priority of adding things I need to add in the README for the project, which I can go in about if people are interested. But basically, we see here, Eliza, do you think you could make the text a little bigger? If you just click on the page, and then just do Control plus a couple of times, and then we can see the usernames a little better.
I wonder if now it's
there. We go. Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, super. So right now, all 3 of us are in shader.place, and you see the little cursors jumping around. That's us. It's like a Google Doc. The thing that kind of is annoying is that they don't have names. They're just numbers at the moment. So we have our number correlations at the top. So we have our key. So I'm number 36, or my number starts with 36. So you see me, I'm highlighting 36 right now, and that's me. And then I guess Ilithya has. I have hacked in. Oh no, who did that?
Did I just do something?
No.
Did I just do something?
No. I think someone else figured out our room name, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
My screen also just went completely black for like a half second, so I was clicking around everywhere really randomly. But I'm back now.
Okay, cool.
That might
I
have
don't
been me.
see
Oh, who
another
hacked in?
person. No,
Oh,
I
someone
only
gets
see
the rename.
three.
Okay.
Ah, okay. I only see 3 people. I don't see more.
Okay. I just deleted it. I'm sorry. I'm like.
Ah, okay.
I'm sorry. I was saying at the beginning, I was like, maybe we should choose a better room name, and then
Okay.
we're like, oh no, it's chill. But yeah, okay.
So should
Well,
we
y'all
go
get
to a
the
different one, or what do you
No,
mean?
I think it's okay. Do we know who 𝗶𝗶𝗱𝗀 is? They said that they said they behave, so
Okay,
I
who's
guess
there?
we can
I don't
trust
know.
it.
Okay,
I
how
think it's
did
just
they
us
figure it
now.
out so fast?
I know. I think
Ah,
because they know where the programmer's mind is when they're debugging,
okay.
and so
Could
they just
be.
knew they're able to figure out what my.
I couldn't even tell,
um,
honestly, that there was an. I don't know how you were able to tell
oh,
sometimes.
they wrote at the top. They said I hacked in, and then I deleted it because I got nervous.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, people, please be nice. People,
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Which, by the way, this
Uh,
remind me for everybody in the chat. Please try to be respectful to each other and be kind to people in the chat itself. Treat everybody as you wish that you were treated. No.
yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that in the chat too. Continue.
Yay.
Sorry.
Yes. No, I think that's super important. I think that that's something that I learned on working on P5JS was like building the community around like a tool is as important as like, making the tool itself and kind of going, what is the code of conduct of like using this tool? And that's I guess the code of conduct of using this tool. Let's be nice. Yeah. So it's shout out Lauren McCarthy is a huge inspiration.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
Love her.
Okay, so basically you'll be able to like see us as we jump around. 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏, because this is like her screen, she doesn't have a number. She's just like the regular like black cursor. So just so everyone knows.
But no, she's the black cursor for you, but for me, she's an orange cursor.
Right. I'm just saying for the stream.
But that means,
right.
hold on
My
a
bad.
second.
My bad. Of course. I keep thinking everyone can see all of our screens. Sorry.
But this is a good question regarding so far like the way it works. So that means that each of you don't see your user. You only see the other people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something I definitely want to. I think that'll be the next step on my features list is adding you able to see yourself better and add names.
But I think so far at least it's fine because you can differentiate yourself by coding, by knowing, okay, I'm not the person with the the flag. So
yeah,
it's fine, and the others can always like read. So
yeah, I just want to add colors. Like you can choose your color. I think that'd be really fun. So, anyways, we're gonna make a shader today. All three of us in one happy tool. And so I guess just for a little background, just in case folks don't know exactly what's happening, this is called live coding. And we're coding a GLSL shader, which is a small program that is run on the GPU to paint the pixels on your screen. And so if I were to make a change in the code, it will be realized live time. So right now I'm at the bottom and I just deleted the 2 multiplying the the UVY. I deleted I changed it from a 20 to a 2. And so that decreased the frequency of the green lines. So I'm just putting it back and forth just so you see like it's pretty real time. So let's just like the gist of like what's happening here and what we're doing for folks who might not be familiar with this practice of creating.
Yeah, that's perfect. We try to sometimes go back to some of the basics each session, just in case.
Yeah, we do like to remind everybody. I, however, can't see anything on my screen. Like I'm in the shader.place, but I can't see the actual shaders right now. So I think but my screen was being blurred for a second. So I think I might reboot my computer and just like pop back in like literally 2 seconds. Okay. I feel like that might be it.
Yeah.
Because my camera is also being blurred.
Okay. Then we'll wait for you. We can chat a little bit, Char and I.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'll be right back.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, sorry about that. I hope it's not my software it's so new. So.
I don't think so. Sometimes we have, as I said, technical difficulties. Like in the past, mostly it was the audio, So I was very happy when my friend helped me to fix it, Tim, who's in the chat, Nerd Disco, because we were. And but yeah, for people who is watching, honestly, when I watch other Twitchers doing creative coding, I have very much respect to a lot of them because it's a lot of hustling, I would say, like having to take care of the whole streaming thing, especially as a host on my side, and then talking, and then taking a look at what people, the community is saying in the chat, and then like now that we have you as well. So it's a lot of hustling. So just so
it's a lot of like juggling all these different things that are happening.
Plus, we are like as well depending on my internet or your internet, or so if something were to happen, is like technical difficulties. And
right. And where are you right now? Are you in Berlin?
No, I live in Hamburg. I'm
Hamburg, great.
in Germany, in the north of Germany. So
nice.
I live here since now 11 years in Germany. Wow, a long time. So, which by the way, this brings me back to a question that when we started, for the people that maybe are today here and they actually have no idea who you are, which actually when we announced you the last time, some people didn't know you. Would you mind like presenting yourself, like telling like where are you based, where are you from? So for example, like me, I'm from Mexico, but I'm based in Hamburg, and I've been living in this country for like 11 years now. And how about you?
Yes, so I am I like to say I'm half from Long Island, half from Pittsburgh, just because I moved to Pittsburgh when I was like 17 for college, and I stayed there for 7 years, so I feel like I kind of did a lot of developing as a person there. So yeah, I was born in Long Island, or rather I grew up on Long Island, and then Pittsburgh for 7 years, and then now I'm in Brooklyn. And I am a computational artist, researcher, and teacher. So my background is in fine art and computer science. I studied them both simultaneously, and the way that I saw them combining in my mind was through computer graphics. And I love being able to teach and explain what I make as I do it. So I got into live coding, and after that I got into teaching the things that I learned how to live code or teaching how I learned to live code, and kind of my goal is to just have my knowledge, anything that I ever learned, like immediately like download it into like as many people as possible, because I think that that's like the best way to like continue learning, like I guess the collective knowledge of like creation and creative code. It's still like a very much like art practice that's in its infancy, or I'd say maybe like toddlerhood.
Cool. I think we froze, by the way. Speaking of internet difficulties, but I still hear you. So
I still hear you.
Yeah.
It looks like we're back.
Yeah,
Are we back?
Okay. Sorry.
It could
be.
No,
honestly, no. It could be me. I put my VPN now because I'm like, I don't know if somebody can also as well like come into my setup or something through this like URL that is not secure. So I put my VPN now. Maybe that's why I just reset it for a second.
Okay. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, because
okay, so the last thing I heard was me talking about how I had to reinstall Windows. Sorry, everybody, technical, as always. I mean, if it's not audio, it's going to be video. So we're back now, though, I think. If everyone can see and hear us, post an emoji in the chat or something.
I think somebody just posted hello, everybody.
Mimetic, hey!
Hello.
Our resident mathematician. He is always so helpful with his math wizardry. Who else is in here? Oh, yay! Okay, so everyone can hear us. Lovely.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It was just like it broke for a second, and then I'm afraid I put my VPN and I didn't know it was going to reset everything. But now we're good. Back.
Okay.
Let's play.
Yeah.
Let's play.
Yeah, I feel like we're ready to just start making stuff.
Yeah. What do we feel like making today? I feel like maybe something with lots of colors since it's like spring, but that's as far as my current inspiration can
I love that.
That's fine.
Project.
Could be patterns too. So
I love a good pattern.
Patterns.
Ooh, okay, so what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna put in the cosine palette function.
Okay. Oh, I haven't played with that in so long. Yes, please.
Yes, it's so good.
Yes.
Hold on a second. I will need to reset. Uh-oh.
What happened? Oh no, the shader thing for you is black now.
Yeah. So
Damn.
but I'm gonna log in from another place so they don't see me. Oh, they still see me. Hold on, because I don't want them to see me from which room I am.
Oh, that's
our super secure room.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna go back.
is gonna work. That's I had to shut down Chrome for it to come back and show
Now
the shader.
I'm back.
And you can see the shaders?
No, it's black.
No, yeah. I had to close the Chrome.
Oh, completely?
Yeah. That's why I rebooted.
No. Oh.
Okay, hold on. You know what? I have a new idea
creepy.
on my end. Now I have a new idea. I think I have several browsers, so I'm gonna open the tool on Firefox so that if I have to reset, I don't have to exit Chrome every time.
Got
Because
it.
I'm hosting you in Chrome.
Yeah.
So
That's
then we go away.
smart. Yeah, I see it. I see it.
So
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I also added this other function, HSB to RGB.
Yay.
Yeah, which is another color translation function that we can use for ease of making nice colors.
Oh, cool. Now I
I'm excited. Often with cosPalette, I would often get confused about what variables to plug in where. So I'm excited to play with it again.
Yes. I meant to raid you after my stream, but I forgot. I'm pretty bad at that right now. I honestly, I've learned so much about Twitch through this like quarantine. I never knew raiding was until I was part of a show, and then like someone like raided our show after, and I was like, "Is that bad?" I'm like, "No, it's good."
Okay.
We can see the shader for you. Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I'm fixing it, and I think this was a better idea. So if it crashes,
let me do the same.
Now I'm in Firefox, so I don't have to close or like meeting. And because I was thinking too, it could be that when everything froze on like the video call, it was because probably because the tool is heavy, it was crashing the whole Google Chrome, so it was crashing the video call. But I think if we use another browser, then we're good, so we don't crash our video call that is in Chrome.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm opening it in Firefox as well, just so that if I need to reboot, much like you, I don't have to close everything. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. It looks different in Firefox. Interesting.
Yeah, it does.
The fonts are different.
Is it like more used? So I developed it in Chrome, and so Firefox and like used it to see how it'll turn out.
It's cool. No, the type is just different. It's just not bold. It's funny though. Okay, cool. So let's do something. Let's do patterns. Let's do colors. My favorite thing with patterns is making 2D patterns that like look like 3D. It's like my favorite to play with like depth or whatever and angles and things. Yeah.
Oh, Alex is here. Hello, Alex. Sorry, sometimes I come back and say hello to people that I know in the chat. Which, speaking of like pro Twitchers, this dude who's there, Trust Codes, he has a Twitch channel and his quality is so good all the time.
I will follow.
I'm jealous.
Follow.
That's nice. Oh, cool. You put the graph. I have to say, I have trouble understanding sometimes the like the graphed out math and like what that actually translates to visually.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like to try stuff and then see it visually what it's doing, like when I'm crafting something. So then I understand.
Yes. So right now the cosine palette function it just takes in one variable, and so we can change like the other color variables like easily right here.
Yeah.
But I just did this one because I feel like it's quicker to use. So if we just say we can say in vec4 as the first, we could just set the, yes, we could set the last output to be of something that's cosine palette. So I'm going to say vector, let's call this cos equals
I feel
cos.
like I'm gonna collate the code as usual so that I can read it because it was too long.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And it was out of
And
the
then
screen.
cosine palette of uv.x. I'm just going to say uv.x divided by uv.y, just so we have like two different periods in there. And then we can say, we could just add it. What should we do with this? Do you think we should like just see what it looks like as the output? Yeah. Let's just do that.
Let's start simple.
First of all, I have another idea as well. I mean, I'm typing at the same time as.
Oh, it's probably. So another thing with this new thing is that time is u time.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was creating a new variable.
Oh, I'm sorry.
T.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Just so that it's easier for us to type.
Yes.
We don't have to do u time every time. I don't know. I do this often in my own shaders. Like I do like a float T at the top, and then put either time or u time, and then I just have to do T every time. So.
I'm just gonna comment this stuff out. Let's just see with the cosine palette. So, I can't name it cos. I have to name it like let's just call it co.
I think that this is extra down here, right?
Oh, all of the comments down here?
Yeah. No, there was like an extra thing. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
So we don't lose it.
I have to scroll down.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now we have, excuse me, cosine palette and 1.
By the way, I must say that I feel that Firefox is managing your tool better than Chrome, Char.
I do.
It's more stable. It's more stable in Firefox as it was in Chrome.
So, oh, that's so good to hear. Okay, so now we have, so on 50, undeclared identifier. Wait, what's wrong with this? I messed up right here, UV.
Oh, you were, okay, nice. So wait, you were saying that if to see where the errors are, we need to open.
Yes, that's another thing that's like I need to add, is that you need to open up the JavaScript console.
To see the errors. That's cool. I just wasn't sure because but awesome.
Oh yeah, I opened it on my end, and probably they can see it on
there it is.
So then we can.
Yay!
See.
Perfect. Now it says did update, which means that it is.
That's
correct.
Awesome.
Yes.
Fun.
That's cool.
I mean, I kind of love it because it's so rare that errors make any sense in console for me in shaders, particularly.
Exactly. So this is something that I struggle a lot as I was learning too, because sometimes I couldn't see the error, and then it's like, what's happening?
Yeah. You made my day with one function. Like you've already given me depth and colors right now. So. Cool.
Yeah, this is like another thing I want to add is like to make the text more legible. I want to add like a highlight on the back of the text because right now it's kind of hard to see. But I'm learning
in the Hexler editor, which I think you've used before.
Yes.
They have the background highlighting. It is definitely useful, but I think this is okay. I can still make it out.
Super.
Yay. So, okay. What did we do to get this shape?
Oh yes. So this shape it's UVX divided by UVY, and so like if we were to just look at UVY, which is just like vertical lines.
Yeah.
And then UVY is horizontal lines. So it's like horizontal, like increasing across the horizontal axis. And so if you divide one by the other, it creates like as the number gets similar, the frequency gets smaller in the center, and so that's why it has this like kind of starburst effect. And then like on the corners, it's like it's more it's more like it's bigger on the like.
Yeah, it's nicer the other way.
The frequency is more of the same. Yeah.
This is like a tunnel. Wait, cosPalette's from Inigo, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm having a flashback to having played with this on Shader Toy as well, with all of the different types of color spectrums that he like gives examples of. Sorry.
Yes.
But yeah, I hadn't looked at it in a minute. Cool. Ilithya, you prefer horizontal, yes?
Yeah, I prefer the other one. I think it was nicer because then you see more of this like Starbucks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
More like.
I feel like I'm in a Jamiroquai music video. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
What I find very interesting is the usage of cosPalette. I'm so sorry, but I have to say that sometimes when I was using cosPalette, I was always having more parameters, and I see that now you prepared in a way that you only need one.
Yeah.
Nice,
It's
nice.
makes it really quick to use. Yeah, because like I hate writing out like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's also really great to write it out because so you know like what's going on, like what is brightness. So like if I were to like decrease the brightness, it'll get darker. And what is the contrast? Like if I'm just gonna use live coding. So if I increase the brightness by a little bit, it's brighter. I actually like it having like lower brightness. I mean lower contrast, and let's do like a little higher.
Yeah, that I don't know.
The colors are like.
I love that. I love that. For the pastel kind that is.
We enjoy the pastels. Yeah.
But we can do whatever. By the way, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, I cannot say his name, but you know him, right, Eliza? So he's here today.
Yeah.
So
Yay.
amazing that you're tuning in. Yeah.
Cashflow. I'm so glad you're here. That's so fun.
Exciting to have so many people today.
Yeah.
All the friends came. Awesome. Okay, so let's.
Computational Mama. Okay. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've seen your Twitch. Very nice.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Instagram accounts. I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone follow Computational Mama on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think she just did a slit scan. She just did an episode on slit scanning, which is super fun.
Oh, really?
Really?
Cool. Shall we make it dance? We can add some.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have time. Where is it? Over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we? Okay. What can I do with it? Should I?
I somehow don't see anything.
Whoa.
That's a nice noise.
Information highway.
That's a nice noise.
Thinking the same. That's funny. Oh, that's very tight. Okay, wait.
I hope that Twitch's compression. Twitch's compression is doing well.
Make sense of it. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, my neighbors are
What
yelling
is this?
again.
What's that?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, it's like a cat or like a baby.
That's. Do you remember I told you this morning how my neighbors are very loud? That's my neighbors. Yeah.
What are they yelling at?
They just like to be noisy. I think they like to express themselves. That's what I have to tell myself.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna send him an angry text later. No, just kidding. I'm not.
Oh, Mimetic says that math fun fact: UVX divided by UVY is related to the tangent function.
It's my favorite function.
Shout out.
Tan is my favorite function because it's the least used function. Eliza knows I plug it in everywhere. I'm like, we're gonna find it a use, and we did last week, 2 weeks ago. It's like the infinite zoom in. If you want infinite things coming forward into the screen at you, use tan.
Whoa.
If you use it with time, to get this effect of zooming in or zooming out, depending on which way. So, but now it totally makes sense, yes, because that's why we have this kind of like zoom effect of the rays.
You remember the graph that we looked at?
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Mimetic's math is brilliant, by the way.
Well, he's literally a mathematician, so.
Cool. I love tan because throwing infinity in anywhere is always a wild card because you like, I guess in like any, if as well as like, I feel like infinity is like chaotic, is a very chaotic thing to deal with, especially with computers who can only approximate infinity. So it's like your computer's just doing its best job to deal with.
I have to ask this, Char, how did you get into shaders in the beginning?
Great question.
So why did you start to get like, because one can do creative coding with whatever tool one wants, right? So
more gentle movement. Yeah. I'm just
Eliza is
Continue talking because I want to know too.
Yes. So how I got into shaders was I studied. I think I might have gotten cut off when I was talking about this before, but I studied fine art and computer science, and I loved both of them. I loved especially theoretical computer science. A lot about programming language theory. I was really into it. I wasn't very good at it, but I loved it. And so coding shaders is kind of using some of some of like the math that I would learn in my computer science classes and use it, and I could have my visually trained eye to be able to manipulate the math in a way that I thought was, it spoke to me. So shaders, it just kind of made sense, and I just found it by searching online for things. Oh wow, oh that's so nice.
I'm enjoying that too.
This is making me think of like at shows where they have like the lasers coming out of the DJ's stage.
Yeah.
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 True. Mm-hmm.
What if I do tan?
Yes.
It's the jerkiness. I love it. What if I do? I like the A10 too because it. Oh no, wait, this won't work because it's too slow, I think. But sometimes I like to plug in A10 and it just keeps going, and then it keeps going forever. I guess it's not working now, but it goes forever and then it creeps like really slowly.
Creeps.
Yeah, like it'll just go really fast towards the edge and then slowly keep going, but it didn't work this time. I'm not sure why, but that's fine.
Yeah, sometimes they want to cooperate, sometimes they don't.
Is there a difference between times and adding? Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, there is a little one. Well, I think it's the same as with colors, right? So if you add a color versus if you layer it with a multiply. So now I'm layering time.
What? See, this is the shit that I love about shaders.
Me too. Bending time and space. It's just so great.
There's no distinction between how space and time interact with math functions. It's just signal processing, I guess.
Totally. I have a big fat textbook about that on the floor next to me. Yes. I like to read through it every now and again and be like, I totally don't understand everything that I'm reading, but some of it just makes my brain fire in fun directions.
Maybe to mention something that I was about to try.
Go for it.
I wanted to try it here first and see, but probably it's better to do it here, right, as he mentioned. Because I think then it's not going to be as immersive or very immersive.
Immersive?
Immersive, big?
Immersive.
Sometimes.
Immensely immersive.
Immensely immersive.
Spanish, like trying to make it an English word, and maybe it doesn't exist. But
shaders. Oh, Lucas is here. Lucas.
Yay!
Lucas is an amazing shader programmer who I think should post more of his stuff online. But also I know that he's like a senior at college, so I don't want to badger him about that. But, Mimetic says also, Mimetic, do you prefer to be called Mimetic Music or Mimetic or Meme? I don't know.
I think his name is Alessandro, if I quite remember.
Oh, Alessandro. Awesome. Alessandra asked, does it pass a buffer with previous frame? Not yet, but it will.
Wait, what does that even mean?
So if it passes a buffer of the previous frame, we can do stuff like feedback, which is like melting.
I think that's what we were doing when we did the webcam shader workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And it will also pass in the webcam eventually. I have all of the tubes in the back end to do that, but I just didn't get to doing that yet. But I think keeping it small for this first time, I think it'll.
Yeah, no, definitely. But that's so fun. There's so many like bits and bobs that you can like add and play around with as you build it out. I feel like the colors change. Are you changing the colors?
No, I'm not doing anything.
No, it's just me because I've turned my head so they look different.
It's hard to read for me, actually.
Oh yeah.
But I'm trying to do something. You can continue.
I see UV times 1.5. Oh, you're implementing Mimetic's suggestion, I think.
I was trying and then something, but yeah, never mind.
Do you want me to try and do it? Where are you? I can try and type it if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was having a hard
Let's
time
see.
reading.
UV times equals 1.0 plus apps, which I figured out what that does like a few weeks ago, which made me really happy.
Yay!
Okay.
But I don't see it taking effect at all.
I don't know.
It's compiled, so it should be good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe if do I have to make it a different number?
I don't think so, because I was testing here, and when we edit here, this other line, then it works. But sometimes we were twisting the UV before. It wasn't.
Is it taking in the changes? Let's see.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Every time it says did update, it means that the shader compiled. Okay.
Ah, yeah, true. I forgot to look at the console that I still have open.
Did update. But then if I put 0.5 here in frag color, shouldn't it get
No, that
gray?
never does anything.
But it's the alpha,
yeah.
Because that's the alpha channel, and it's not working at the moment.
It just ignores it, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought it would become like some kind of like grayed out.
Because I never enabled like in WebGL you have to like enable transparency, because it's like it's like another step in the shader pipeline. So right now it just doesn't do anything because I don't have transparency enabled.
Oh, in 3 years you could do this.
I added a plus instead of a multiply just to see if it would do anything. Yeah, so I guess it's
so the multiply.
It's just chill.
The layering was not working, but the adding. Interesting. Why it wouldn't take it as a layer?
I wonder. Maybe
that's cool.
UV equals UV times.
Ooh.
There we go.
I like this one's going like this.
Yeah. He's like kind of like
kind of sassy.
Hey, and I wonder, this is gonna be crazy, but if you put fract in this function.
Ooh, that's Alithya's favorite function. Yeah. That's I wanted to ask you that actually, Char, because like some of my favorite functions are like step and clamp, and Ilithya often reaches for fract. So I wondered if you had like I don't know, what are your favorite tools in your tool belt? If you had
if I had to pick, I love the mix function.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Ilithya likes that one too. I had never used it, and she used it a lot for colors.
Ooh. Yeah, I like to think about it as mixing paint, like percentages of paint. Yeah, so that's what I wish I used fract more. I never get to every time I see that was like one of the first things that I learned, and I was so mesmerized, but then I didn't use it after that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's funny. I like it a lot for dividing up like space and stuff, and then I started playing around with. Patricio in his Book of Shaders website has like a different way to create grids, and so then I just didn't end up reaching for it as much. And then when Ilithya and I started coding together, it was like one of the main things we used for so long, and we ended up learning how to do so many fun things with it.
I have to brag a little bit. I got to meet Patricio because he's at the residency that I'm at right now.
Yeah,
and so I get to so he's also working on a shader editor, so we have like 2 different shader editors
going on. No, the more shader editors, the merrier.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that is a huge component of live coding, is being able to create the tools that you use to make with. Like I remember last night at a performance at Live Code NYC, we put out a performance for Commons. One of the artists that was playing is Jason Scher, and he goes like EA. And I was like, Jason, is this like the tool that you made? He's like, no, I made this other tool. This is another tool that I made. It's on top of Tone.js. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, sorry, I keep making tools. And I'm like, that's like live code is that.
Making, if I ever manage to make it, I've had this conversation with Patricio before, and I've asked him, like, I have a lot of like, I wish, like, I would like to be able to make a tool, and then I'm like, am I like, is it okay to play with other people's tools if I'm not making my own tools? And he was like, yes, of course. But also, I would like to make my own tool one day. I'm not sure what kind of tool yet, but something.
Yeah, like anything, like even if it was like forking, like that's I guess what GitHub is good at. You could fork something, and then like I was thinking about forking the force and then just working off of that because I love the force so much. But then he uses jQuery and I can't use jQuery.
No. Oh, really? I know.
I'm shocked.
Oh, wow. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I teach a design with web course, and they use jQuery, and I hate that they use jQuery. But it's part of the curriculum, so I have to just like they're business students, so it's not like like an art school or anything. So it's like, okay, fine, use jQuery then. But like,
use jQury, yeah. I just never learned how to use it, and so
me neither. Apparently it's so easy, but I find it really difficult.
Me too. Yeah. I
think if you know vanilla JavaScript at all, it becomes like, if you understand how it works, it's too hard. It's like hard to reverse engineer something that you've already engineered. I
But
think.
I must say I'm the opposite as you too, because I learned jQuery first, actually. Like
Do you like
many
it?
years ago. I liked it, yeah, back then, because that was the first thing that I tried to learn JavaScript and I couldn't get it. And then I learned jQuery, and for me that was much easier. So for many years I was just, also because I was
I
doing
need
web
to get a
development.
lesson.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was
They do
just
have a
much
lot
easier.
of really practical helper functions. I'm not gonna lie, they really do. But I was surrounded by like mentors who were very much like obsessed with like vanilla JavaScript for all the things. Or if you really need to, reach for underscore, but don't use
It's
jQuery. I
better.
was like,
It's better. That's
yeah,
like now that I can do JavaScript, why would I reach to another layer performance-wise of a library? Like I try to, like, if I can do it like with the less
code.
code, and as well that is performant. So why would you need to call an extra library if you can do it with vanilla? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
So okay, so I love where it's going so far. Do you think that
me too.
we could make more of these?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
please do. I was just playing with like the movement and the splitting now. I like how the colors are a little bit like
Me too. I really like what you did
is
with
it called
Fract.
holographic? Like a little bit like
Yeah.
shiny,
Oh, it is.
metallic.
It's very. It's going in an iridescent right direction.
Yes,
Well
that's
played,
the word,
Eliza. Well
iridescent.
played.
Ooh.
Our
That was
never-ending
very good.
quest to make iridescent shade. Do you know Char 𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀 on Instagram? I'm sure you know his stuff.
Who?
𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀. I don't know how people pronounce it, not in French, but he does a lot of like cubes that are morphing, and he does like a lot of like really iridescent holographic.
I want to know.
I'm gonna send you him on Instagram. One sec. I'm surprised.
Yes. I guess this is just a difference. I guess because I'm not. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel like that would be right up my alley.
I think so. I'm sure when I send him to you, you'll be like, wait, I know him. I'm gonna send you one of his most recent squares.
Super. Luca says a lot of what jQuery was built for is now part of the vanilla spec. Oh, which is in an awkward place. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Is Char's tool, by the way. Yay!
Somebody asked,
yes,
so
yes,
I was like,
following this
I didn't want
person.
it to interrupt our conversation, so sometimes I'll just like reply there.
Oh, Mario just posted 𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 in the chat as well. I sent it to you as a DM though, Char. 𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is Sean Zellmer, and he does amazing shaders, and they're beautiful.
Yes, I do follow this person. This is so usually I don't follow people if I don't like know them IRL.
Okay.
Or I try, I try to just but I followed this person because I was like, this is the next. This is pretty good.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. Yeah. But why was I saying that? Oh yeah, because he's got a talent for like the iridescent, reflective, gooey surfaces that we love so much.
Continue. I'll be back. I'm gonna just
close
my
window.
Blinds.
Your blinds, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's getting dark and I feel like people is watching me. Because I have a lot of light in my flat, and then I hate when like people is like
people can stare at you through the window.
Like
it's not creepy at all. It's not
creepy. I love that you're closing the blinds and you also turned on your VPN.
Yeah.
You're like, nobody's seeing what I
no one's getting
without me explicitly knowing what I'm up, Twitch streaming. Like I know that's all about.
Is there a way to make, do you think the like really thin lines in between, like I want to say in the like background layer, like wider apart?
Yes. So what's happening here is that as UVX is so UVX is equal to UVY, right? Yeah. So as they get sorry.
That's the average, right? UVX divided by UVY would give us the average between them.
I guess. Yeah, I guess as UVY goes to 0, that's it. As UVY goes to 0, it gets smaller and smaller. And so the center right here is 0. So because we moved it so that so it's -1, 1, and the 0 is in the center. So if you divide by something that's if you divide by 0, it gets like smaller and smaller. So I guess what we can do is that we can say like we can redefine UVY, I guess.
You could clamp it.
Yes, exactly.
I
Super.
think. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Because clamp in my head is like map. This is what I tell everyone. Clamp is like P5's map. You can just like squish it into another space.
But then it would just stop. I guess we could clamp it and then like multiply it so that it would keep going. So we can clamp it and then we can say like so it goes from, is it low to high? So it goes like,
I think so. Let me double check. But look at shaders. The book. Oh, I'm on Firefox. It's
so cool.
Mario was saying that it would look amazing in ray marching. Yes, that's for the next time. And the next time that Char comes in here, we do ray marching with her.
Yeah. Okay, so I clamped it so that now it just kind of looks like a big, but I realize it clamps in negative too. So we have to say like, I don't want to make an if statement. I don't want to be like,
oh, I love what you're doing now.
Well, you can abs it. You can abs it.
I guess, but that
doesn't that force it into positive zone?
Oh wait, I have an idea. We can abs it in here.
Oh yeah, good call. Okay, wait.
Delete the other one, I guess.
Okay, wait. There we go.
Right, okay, so abs it in here. I think that would work. Maybe? Is it compiling? No, it's not compiling.
What do you want to do?
We just want to make it not be negative.
Yeah, so abs y. So right now it's mad at me. It's not compiling. Syntax error on 52. Okay, we know that that's it.
But what are you trying to do? What do you want to add apps?
Oh,
because I was lost.
Keep it from going into the negative on the number line.
We're trying to get these like little fine lines to be like more bulky or like bigger.
I really like the thing that you had going on, by the way. This kind of, it looked like a wall melting.
With the wall.
Yeah,
so with
that thing I like because it looks
weird.
3D.
Okay, wait. So if we just clamp UVY, wait, there was like a bug for a second, and then
I saw that.
What? There.
Yeah,
this.
that
okay.
That looks
it
cool too.
Compiled. This is what you were trying to do. Oh, I feel like we're in a.
I love it because it's very 3D, like a room.
Nice.
No, that.
Yeah,
go back.
like
go back. Yeah, it's like a room.
So wait, so what if I take the sign off time and just have it continuous? Oh, okay, wait, it's not. Yeah, is it going to come back? It is going to come back.
There's a sign somewhere.
There's definitely a sign somewhere. Oh, it's in here.
It's here.
Ah.
Okay, wait, we were double signing it. Oh.
But now
right, because T is always infinitely going up. It'll like
okay, so let me put that back then. So that it is what it was. We like that. Right? Or what if I do cos?
When you finish, I want to try something because I totally miss how you came up to this.
Go for it. How we made it even?
Yeah, I just want to retrace back a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, now it's frozen on my end, so I will have to
do
my tab. But now it's
not. Oh, I see it. Oh no.
I guess.
Yeah, I will have to figure. I have to audit the CPU usage.
I'm enjoying the shader jokes in the chat. They're funny.
Yeah. At least I'm happy that it's not crashing our call, so it's totally fine. Char, I will just reset now.
Oh, super. Okay.
There's no problem.
I appreciate y'all soldiering on through this.
No, this is awesome. I'm like I said before.
I'm development.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me baby one more time.
Uh-oh, I think everything froze again.
Your video froze.
Yes,
yeah, but we didn't.
My computer froze again.
Oh, your computer froze? Can people still hear us?
Yeah, they can, I think.
So.
I think
okay.
they can.
Oh, they can.
Because I see in OBS that we're still streaming, so I think they can listen. Oh, now it's back. Now it's back.
Okay. Sorry, guys. There's a lot going on in one computer, I think. Awesome.
Oh.
What if I times this?
And while you do that, what I want to do you think I could make it so that it's just moving along the side instead of moving across?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do when I took the sign off. Whoops.
Oh, I saw my room now. I'm afraid.
Please.
Oh no. Okay, we could change rooms.
But wait, now that I'm in this room, I don't see what. I don't see. I see the template.
Oh no, really?
Why? I don't see.
Everyone knows now.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Oh. Well, let's go to a different room then. Anyways.
Can you bring the code? Can you bring the code?
Yeah, I can copy the code. Yes, yeah. I'll save it in another file.
Yeah,
so I'll say the new name in the Google chat. Oh, does that work?
Not Google in the Google chat.
Oh, not in the Google chat.
Because they will see.
Yes, they will see. Okay, so I'll do it in Signal. I'll say it'll be. Let's do.
Just put whatever.
Yeah, I'll do.
I don't use Firefox so much.
I used to swear by Firefox and only use it. I was like, I wanted indie all things, and I was trying to be Oh, okay, cool. But
wait, I messed up. Wait,
it's okay.
Okay, it's that one. Cool. I can send it to Eliza, and through Signal. But I will do it now.
Why is it?
Copy it.
Awesome. Oh. Okay.
I'm not in there yet, also, by the way.
Yeah, I recognize the template. It's different. I mean, it's with the ball. This template.
Yeah, so that one is the beginning template.
Yeah, that's the
one that I see.
That's the one that I see as well in my screen. Is that right?
Yes, yes, it is right. I'm gonna fix it in a moment.
But it's the base of your remarching workshop, I think. I remember.
It is.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Wait. 53. Okay, here. Great. Do you see it now?
We're back. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, if you know how to make it continuous.
Okay.
I think you have to do just plus T. Normally instead of like multiplying time.
I think
or adding sign.
But we have T added to the UV.
So I think it's this one. So we should do. Oh wait, it's X. Sorry, forgot. Ooh, that looks nice.
Nice.
And then if I just do plus T here, it'll just kind of.
Yeah, I think.
Instead of the.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but then.
Why is not?
Yeah, but that's because the cos on top here. That's the thing. I tried to take this off before, and then it.
Okay. That's continuous now. Now it's.
But
I like that.
Yeah. You want it?
Hold on.
Yeah,
let's leave cos. Or no?
I think if we leave cosine, I kind of like this. I think if we leave cosine, then we won't be able to get it.
Yeah. So if we wanted to, what were we saying? It was this.
Then this one would have to be cosine of t. Oh, that doesn't look right.
If I add a 0.5, it makes the middle part bigger. If I add a 0.5, interesting. How would we access the middle part?
Which middle part?
Okay, so that's that.
That was cool.
Plus 0.3.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm into the not lined up lines. I kind of find that fun.
Yeah.
But I think knowing Eliza that she doesn't love the squish lines in the middle. knowing her.
You know me, yeah. The thing that bothers me about those is that I guess it's like there are so many.
Yeah.
It's like noise in between, but it doesn't really have a shape. But I can live with them.
Well, it kind of on the side looks like a bit of a squiggle, but because they're so packed.
So probably that's the only thing that disturbs like my visual side that I'm like, what is that? But it's cool. Let's keep on like this.
I like it because the colors are going in. It looks like to me the colors are going in the opposite direction of the panning of the shapes.
The colors, I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
loving the look.
But it's like everything's going like this.
Love it.
It's like sliding doors.
And I love this metallic look. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very nice.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try something to center, like to get that kind of starburst back. This could be so wrong, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to subtract. So right now UVX and UVY are kind of, actually maybe not. Maybe I decided to explain it before I tried to do it, but I'm thinking like we're kind of like off like say screen of like where they are, because we're adding time in it. And so it's going to subtract time, but actually I think that might not work. But let me just try it.
You can try.
Nope.
Ooh.
Oh wait.
That's kind of funny.
Nothing happens. It's slower. I think it was slightly slower.
It made more. There are more shapes in the. It compacts everything.
Yeah, that didn't do what I thought it was going to do.
Maybe you needed to do it here, Char, after the multiplication of the fract.
0.5.
You know.
Yeah, I think I was just wrong in thinking that it was.
Well, meanwhile, do you think I'm gonna comment this a second? Okay. Because I lose before when I was doing my thing. I didn't see why you had clamp, but clamp was. Okay, now I get it. So it's making this thing here so that it's not infinite, kind of.
Yeah. Well, that was our idea to get rid of the original packed lines, but we have other packed lines. Whoops! What did I just do? Oh, that's so funny. I made it.
Oh, cute!
Oh, I like that.
It still works.
I like that when you just have UV. I guess.
That's when you have. But I'm missing.
And you need another one. Close it. That one is interesting.
Now we need a semicolon.
I prefer that one. Visually
and then
speaking.
a semicolon. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Super.
I can put back the original though.
You know what this is giving me? This is giving me like old photography color test vibes.
Yes. But this one I like. In here the noise doesn't disturb me. Somehow in here the noise is very pretty.
You know what it kind of gives me the impression that it's a slice, like that we're seeing the shadow of the top and bottom slice, and that the smaller pieces are like farther behind it.
Oh, I like that.
But that's just because I like to find optical illusions everywhere.
And I wonder if we increase this one, is it going to be more? No, it doesn't do anything anymore.
Oh, is it compiling? No, it didn't compile. Clamp. No overload.
Why?
I'm going to clean up the code a little bit.
I'm going to open the console in here to see if... yeah, clamp not matching overloaded function. There's an error in
Oh, right.
You're missing.
We need to put 0, 0 or
Ooh.
Interesting.
Okay.
What if we take this out?
You know, it reminds me of those books that you used to have. I don't know if you guys had these, but they were like packed full of colors and very like packed imagery, and you had to like put your eyes really close to it, and if you backed away slowly.
Oh, the magic image.
Yeah. But I never
like
managed to see the image. It never
really?
popped out, ever.
You have to like cross your eyes.
Yeah.
It's like really annoying.
But I kind of like the pattern in the background. It's fun.
Yes.
It's like,
we could save this one, and then we could always start over with something.
Sure.
If it gets too wound up and everything, I think that. Ooh.
I think I'm fine. Just keep tweaking stuff, even if like we like had an idea that we like, and then we twist it, and then it's like it's fine. It's like brainstorming.
Yeah, that's true. You know what I want to do? I want to make it
wavy?
like a I want to make it wavy, but I forget how to do that.
Yeah. You just have two here, for example. I feel like you would do something like this, and one of them has to have seen normally.
Well, that makes it so that.
But I'm not sure. Hold on. Maybe it's not here, but in the fract. It's in the fract that we have to probably do this. Because normally to do a wave, you just do UBX plus UBY, and one of those values, like you put sin or cosine, and then it makes a wave.
Yes.
But I don't know where to enter.
Could do it. Probably do it. Yeah.
it seems that it's taking effect in the noise.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, you're putting it in a cosPalette, so wouldn't it then be affecting the color? And not necessarily where did you implement fract? Oh, right, in cosPalette. Okay.
We're going somewhere, but not the wave yet.
Ooh, like that.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Oh, you probably have to increase the frequency.
Nope. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Great. Increase it even more and
pretty. Ooh, it kind of.
yes.
I like it.
And if I want to watch it the other way, I think I have to do it the opposite.
Yes.
No, I love that.
So good.
Now it's like melting from
lava.
the screen from the top. Yeah.
I really love it.
That.
Oh, I'm into it. It's so pretty.
Got already like a fix.
So on the stream, 𝗶𝗶𝗱 says, I've been lurking in the shader.place room. It was very nice seeing it update live. I was thinking, what we could do is that we could tell everyone the room that we're in, since everyone, ooh, that looks so good.
We could too, if you want. We've never tried that. See how many
times.
It's
just see what, well, I was thinking at the end of the stream we could do that just in case people go crazy, but.
How many people are we?
Let's do that. Let's continue. And then maybe in the last minutes of the stream, we invite everybody in.
Yeah.
And we see.
Yeah, who comes in.
And then we're going to have like two shaders, like the one that we created and then the one that when people
everyone created. Did you guys ever see that video on Reddit where like everyone contributed like 1 pixel to a painting? Did you ever see that?
Oh my God, I love that.
So good. We'll do this with shaders.
So stay here, people. If you stay here, you will be able to jump and also tweak stuff with us.
Yay.
I love it.
That's a great
It's kind of fun. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the packed lines also have a very slight wiggle to them.
Yes, yeah. I love that. It looks even cooler on the stream, to be honest, because the stream is like, it kind of compresses, like, yeah.
I really like it. I'm enjoying it a lot.
That's fun. What if I do, I'm going to make it, oh, okay. If I do 7
nice. Oh, that's nice. So that's more of the wiggly and less noise.
Yeah.
By the way, Char, where do you get inspiration to do like your visual stuff?
It's a great question. I think I get a lot of inspiration just from like my daily life. For example, I was I was talking to Golan actually, and I kept calling Voronoi. Voronoi. I kept calling Voronoi Voronoi. And so yeah, like. And then I was like, and then he was like, it's Voronoi. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry. and then that day I like went back and I was like, I want to make mac Voronoi and cheese.
Yes, I was hoping that. I was really hoping you right here and take it. That's awesome.
and then I how far did I get? I forget how far I got. I was trying to do it in ray marching and I tried to make it like noodles coming out of like Voronoi like pods and like the noodles will come up, but it didn't really like read as noodles. It just kind of looked like yellow Voronoi goop. And so, but anyways, I didn't end up releasing it just because of like it didn't really look like what I was trying to do, but I was like, that was where my inspiration came from.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also super inspired by my community. Like honestly, like everyone who is doing these kinds of things, y'all, you two are very inspiring. And everyone, there's a lot of people in this chat that I find very inspiring.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. The shader that you did, I was trying to find it again. You posted it the other day. Well, the one that you did in advance of your performance, I thought was so beautiful.
Oh, like chains, yeah.
So nice.
I really like that.
Yeah, so that one, so it was. That one has been a process because I made the chain shader earlier than the pandemic, and that was inspired by when 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 was one of my TAs. He like kind of like tipped us off to use the RGB to HSV function, which is right up here.
We haven't used it yet. We should use it.
Ooh, I could use it right now as I talk. I wonder if I'd be good at that.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. Okay, so what you do in the our HSV to RGB function, which takes an RGB value, an HSV value, which is hue, saturation, and brightness. So hue is like traversing through the rainbow, saturation is, how saturated it is, etc. And it converts it to colors that the shader can then process. So it's kind of translating color space, which is what the cosine palette is doing as well. He said if you use that and you kind of use very muted contrast and brightness, but you have very high hue or like very high frequency hue, it kind of makes it look iridescent. That was us. Yes. And so let me try doing this. Let's just call it. I'm just going to call it eerie.
Cool.
I was gonna say thank you for doing it live, because I know I asked you this like half a year ago, and you told me in the chat like how to do it, but I didn't get it.
Yes.
And I was too shy to ask again, like, can you please explain? So, but I didn't understand. So I'm happy to see it now. Then I discovered it on my own.
Yeah, I'm so happy to explain it. And anytime, like, I think like people don't ask me a lot of questions, and I'm always like asking questions. People like, I think like, once in a couple of months, someone will be like, yeah, this thing. And then I can help them out. So it's, very down to like anything anything I say that doesn't make sense. It also helps me explain it, because sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, well, does that make sense to me? I don't know, maybe. So explaining it always helps.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for me, it was already half a year that I asked you that question. So definitely I've gathered more knowledge now. So it was easier to understand. But yeah, a lot of these words, when I started to do the collab with Eliza, I was happy that she was explaining me too how these like terms like phase, that was my problem, that I didn't understand what phase mean, what oscillation means, and I was telling Eliza, yeah, great, but I don't get it. Like, I don't.
No, but that's what's so fun too, is that.
Yeah.
Oh crap, my screen just went black.
No, that was me. That was me.
No,
Sorry.
Because Char is taking the colors.
Oh, it's so nice. But that's what's fun about explaining stuff, because you get to like see if you understand it well enough to explain it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna make the brightness pretty low and the contrast higher. Is this? Ooh, that's
wow. That's very rainbowy.
So you usually have to be in the rainbow, I think, and then do this.
Yeah, that's the only thing with HSV to RGB. I haven't tried it with a 2D shader, so perhaps maybe that's why it's not looking super iridescent.
Yeah, but it's like an interesting like muted color kind of vibe. I like it. It's very I'm
scrolling back so that people in the channel can see this function HSV.
to RGB.
But I have to wait that you finish. Okay, and then I will scroll at the top so they can see it.
Oh, that's okay. That's the thing that I was worried that was going to come up. So in my testing, it was like sometimes that would happen where like if you were typing, if one person was typing, and then
it brings you back to the.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix that.
Don't worry. But I just scrolled to the top so people can see this function here. So in case they wonder where is it coming from, this HSV to RGB that you got from your friend, right? So.
Yeah. Well, where is that from? I actually don't know where that's actually from. HSV to RGB. Okay. It's just kind of like around with no credit. If anyone knows in the chat, you can say who kind of. Okay. Maybe people independently kind of came up with the function, but.
Yeah. Because I know there's a lot of gist that are.
Just have it in there.
Right this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of little functions for noise, for different things, which are very useful.
I really like the colors that you ended up with here. I'm into the blue and the yellow. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try.
So is this independent? Yeah, it's independent of cosPalette, right?
Yes.
It's not.
Cool.
Ooh.
I like it.
I'm gonna try some random stuff. I always like doing this. I'm like, oh, what if I just like multiply it or like.
That's what we do all the time.
That is the bulk of what we do. Yeah.
What if I just do fract of that times 20?
I like that.
Yeah, I just kind of made it like more harder lines, which I'm probably it's okay. Yeah, I just like staring at it.
Ah, okay. I thought you were talking.
That's the darkness. Okay, got it.
Yes, yes.
Cool.
So I think that's the thing. That should be the thing, I guess, with like oh right. So it was that you have it. So that was the step one, is that you make it like darker and less contrast, but high frequency of the hue. And then for ray marching, which we can't do, it was that you made it so that the specular was that color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is that value. So we could try to fake it.
That's the thing that probably.
Like,
what's the specular? That's the thing that I remember you told me. Now, when I think about it, that's the thing that I didn't get.
That has to do with that you need lights for specular, no?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the difference. You need like a camera and lights. It's like a 3D thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So specular is like when you have like something that's shiny, like that white. That white like shine. Yeah, that's the specular. I know you probably knew that, but just in case other folks didn't know. Yeah, and so what it is that it's basically just, I'm just gonna say what it is, and it doesn't have to like make any, but it's just like the dot product of the light and the direction of the ray. So it's like when they're like the same, it's like very, or the normal of the object. So when they're the same, it's very large, and when they're smaller, it's very small. I could be, I don't think that's correct. Is there a public repo for PRs? Oh, Lucas, yes, there is. It's Char Stiles. It's my GitHub/shader place.
GitHub?
I have to update it.
Let me search for it.
Yeah. Right now it's being hosted on Glitch, which is causing me some issues. I'm going to get off of Glitch. But I did start it. So I started it using, and then I uploaded it to the GitHub, and then I made some changes. So it's not the most up-to-date version, but it is a version that I will update with the changes that I created.
What's your GitHub address, by the way? Is it Char Stiles?
Yes, it's CharStiles.
Oh, okay. I think I found you. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put it on the chat. Is that fine?
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to ask if you were going to combine them. That's what I was hoping you were doing.
Yes.
And the repo is shader.place, isn't it? The repo is...
Yeah, it's all one word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, one word. And then one. Okay, cool. So, and then I want to do like...
Yes. I think it's just T.
Oh, right. T. And then... Ooh, okay. And then I want to do it like... I just want to do something
really those colors. I love those colors now, even with yellow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice, and pink and green.
Ooh, okay. I like that a lot. That's very,
really like it.
We get a full spectrum. I'm into that.
Yeah, exactly. But you can keep on, sorry.
Like a full range of moods. Ooh, I like that part. Yeah. Pretty.
Me too. I didn't mean to stop you, Char. If you wanted to continue, it's just like
I forget what I was. That's what happens whenever I start like looking at the colors. I'm like,
maybe like divided by you.
Ooh.
Me too.
I like that we're giving it like a glow now. Like it looks very glowy.
Yeah. I'm into this like iridescent hack. We have no lights, but we're gonna get iridescent anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, me too. That's why I like it, because it goes from dark to very light.
Yeah.
It's melting away or melting down.
Yeah, totally. Ooh, I really like it.
Ooh, okay. I have an idea.
Yeah.
What if we start using a noise function?
Yeah.
Now you're
exploring noise the last 2-3 sections, Eliza and I. So please do.
Yay. Or if we... Okay, I actually have two options. Okay, so we could either use a noise function, or we could use another function, like a modified mod function. So
I'm into that.
Yeah. Okay. So let me explain something really quick. So when I was using the mod function to like create like a grid of something. I was using it to create like a kaleidoscope, and I didn't like the hard lines. And so basically, like if you look at a mod function, it's basically like you have, like if you just have increasing mod, it's like spikes that go up, and then it's a discontinuous function. So it's just like if this is, I'm just gonna draw it really quick.
You got rid of the lines.
I was just playing with it, but I don't know if you prefer.
I think that's okay.
Oh, yeah, this.
Yes. So that's a mod function. I didn't like that because it just created like hard lines, and so I was like, there's got to be a way for me to just basically like just make it continuous.
Yeah.
Like just kind of like have it so that it's
I've seen that on Patricia's
yeah, me too.
Oh, really?
Me too. Yeah.
Nice.
In the glossary.
So it's like a smooth mod function, and how I did it, I probably did it a bit different. Patricia probably did it better. I'm not gonna be so self-deprecating. Okay, so basically what I did is I know it's like I feel like I've gotten worse in the pandemic because I'm like just always by myself. So I'm like,
you're not alone.
Yeah, but now I'm not alone. I can be confidently being like, I just did it differently, and that's okay. So I'm gonna paste in the smoothMod function that I came up with.
Yes.
And I'm so it's gonna be at the top. I'm gonna put it. Let me just put it before HSV to RGB. And so we see here smoothMod, and I linked the math stack exchange.
Cool.
That I basically just translated that function to GLSL.
Put it in the chat.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save this link. I want to look at it.
Yay!
Did I get it?
And yeah.
Okay.
Shapes.
I put it in the chat now.
Super.
What does my?
Oh, I love the way this looks.
Yeah, me too.
And then so smoothMod is, what's the E again? I think the E is, oh yeah, it's probably like how smooth it is. And then so the X is like what you're modding, and then Y is what you're modding it by, and then E is the is like how much you're modding it, or how smooth these
like
peaks
are. The percentage
okay.
of the smoothness, yeah.
Oh, cool. So it's like waves, literally, kind of.
Yeah. Now when I think about it. And I wonder if it's gonna be like soft waves like we have right now, or like peak waves, like.
But I think you can pick. I think you can pick, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like this last floating number, I think is for that. If you want them like a peak or like more like border radius comes in my head, kind of like.
Yeah.
Oh,
in CSS with border radius, you can do this kind of thing. Like if the more you increase the border radius, the more circular you have the shape. But if you don't have a high border radius, then it's like a corner, like a square, kind of.
Okay, yes. I'm totally confused because the thing that I thought that I'd seen before in Book of Shaders is just using mod.
Oh, is it? It's just mod without like the smoothness in between.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. In the example, he does y equals mod x, comma 0.5. So it's the modulo of x. But there's a line. But I don't think that
Does it look like sharp at the top?
Yeah.
It's okay, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yes. Okay, so now if we want to use this function, let's do copy. I'm just gonna copy. I'm so lazy with typing it. Also, I'm so down for replacing GLSL with CSS with GLSL. Maybe that'll be like
yes,
I imagine like you can apply border radius. What a mix! That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because some of these functions, are really like that. I would say. I mean, I still love shaders, but that's what it takes a while to get used to. That some of the stuff takes like a lot of grinding in order to achieve a little effect.
Oh my gosh, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the UVY equals smoothMod.
Where are you now?
And then I'm on line 57.
Oh, okay.
And then UVY and then let's just do let's do 0 and then like 0.2. Let's see. It's probably mad at me. smoothMod. Oh, does it take it to vector 3?
There's an error in 57.
smoothMod is a float. No vector 3. But it isn't compiling.
No.
I know why. Probably just. Oh.
Yeah, you were missing. Yeah, There's 3, 1, 2. Yeah, you need 3 variables.
There's still an error showing up.
Yeah, there's an error. Let's see. smoothMod. So this is a float. 𝗶.y. Time.
All of them are floats. All of them are floats, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Time.
Oh, I used time here. Sorry, U time. Why did I use?
Oh, now everything is black.
Really? For me, I have lines. I have straight lines.
For me, it's black. Oh, maybe I need to reload. I will reload again.
Okay, wait. U time. U T T T. Wait, where did you? smoothMod. Ah, yes. Okay. So.
Oh, it's still black for you.
It's still black?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Why?
Oh, yeah, computational mama. This stream is like a congregation of all the people whose work I admire. It really is.
Yeah.
Same. Like,
Same. Hold on, it's black for me. Is it black for you too?
no.
No. Maybe there's something to do with your graphics card, because sometimes there's like some things, like maybe because we're dividing by 0, it like gets mad.
Did update. I mean, I still see the console moving.
What if I put a 0.1 here?
Now I see something.
Whoa.
Now I see something.
Super.
Yeah, okay, so Alethea, I think it has, like, Char might be on something with her 0.0 is lines for me and black for you. And then here.
Exactly. For me, those were black, and now when Eliza did something, I can see it. But
Amazing.
the thing that you were doing, I couldn't see it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
This is such an awesome function.
Yeah, I have to
Where are
practice.
Did you achieve this with that? With this function? With the...
I think I added time there somewhere, because I don't think time is supposed to be there.
Oh, here.
Time doesn't really, like, it shouldn't really, like, do anything. But I think because I was using it to kaleidoscope, I did some kaleidoscope too. But basically, it's like, I think if we just take out, like, if we replace this with something else, I think it'll be
just here because it's
but I kind of like the way that it looks, so.
Yeah.
Where do you put UVX? Oh, no, then you get lines again. Oh, weird. Okay. Me too. Funny.
I'm off. Oh, I really like this effect.
Divide by 0. I'm trying to
So nice.
I'm putting my mic down for like a half second. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if we do it in next, wow, interesting. I just changed it from the other axis. I know it's only lines.
Ooh. Where are you? What line are you at?
Here in
I
the
see.
57, but I just, instead of doing it there, I just do the x-axis.
But I bet if we make this x, yeah, then it will do it the opposite way. So I guess it has to match, because the reason why it's lines is because, whoa.
But it's different. Look, this effect is actually different than the other one.
So cool.
Yeah. I mean, I like both. I don't know which one I like more, but I like both effects.
We could use both.
Ooh,
we could do like a mix
would...
between them.
Yeah. Have you, like, sometimes I do this. Can you follow me? I'm below you.
Yeah, I see you.
So sometimes I would do something like, if we do here the y, then y again.
Ooh.
But it's not mixing it right? So.
Right. So what we would want to do, I think, this is what I think, is that we would get a variable. So instead of like setting this to
here. Y, sorry.
Cat? Is there a cat?
Sean is here. Now. We were just talking about you before.
Oh,
we were
really?
talking about your iridescences.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you. Yay.
Yeah,
oh, hello. Yeah, a lot of people that I admire are here.
It makes me so happy that everyone's here.
That's really amazing.
Sorry, though. I totally just dropped back in. You guys were in the middle of saying something. Sorry.
Oh, we were just gonna, instead of, I was thinking of layering up, but then probably, this is the thing that sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes it's good to layer up, but sometimes using mix to put 2 objects or more together, it's better. So.
Yeah. I think, you wanted to do layers before, too. You had said something about that.
I think so. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is that, like, instead of setting this like UVY to equal this, we just set this to like a variable. So let's just say like float, and let's call this like y smooth, or I'll just call it I'll call it y smoothMod.
Cool.
I know that's like really annoying. X smoothMod, perfect. And then what we can do.
It's just mix now.
Oh,
a new variable, right? So.
Well, okay. So basically, what we have to do is that we have to have two different ways of mixing them. So we have to mix them for the x variable, and we have to mix them for the y variable. So we need to say, like, sometimes the x variable is this, and the y variable is normal, and sometimes the y variable is like this, and the x variable is normal. So then we mix these two different, like, we mix these two different types of like ways of thinking, and we can mix them like by like oscillating them through time. We can mix them through oscillating through space.
Okay.
So like as x increases, so that just depends on what the third variable of mix is.
Yeah.
And so let's say.
I imagine you're gonna say 𝗶𝗶 equals mix something, or.
So okay, so what I'm gonna do just to be able to like think about it like clear, is I want to make a third variable that will be the percent of like which one we're doing. So let's just call this like
smooth
mix.
Something?
Oh yeah, let's call it.
We're gonna mix both axes of the smoothness. So,
yes. Right, and then so then what we're gonna do is that so 𝗶𝗶. So one of them is going to be the inverse of the other of this final variable.
I'll
so
be back, by the way.
Like,
keep on.
Yes. So what we can do is we could say 𝗶.x equals mix. I always use mix. 𝗶.x, and then let's say x smoothMod. And then we're going to use the smooth mix as like the thing. And then for y, we're going to do the same thing, except it's going to be 1 minus. So it's like the opposite. So if it's not 1, it's going to be the other.
Cool.
And then we can make this y, all of these y.
And then, yeah.
Okay, and then it's mad at me for something. Oh, I did time, didn't I? Yes.
Yeah.
I was doing that. Okay, and then mix, no matching overload.
Mix, no matching overload. Is it missing something somewhere? Does the one need a dot?
T underscore variable.
Are we above? Oh, whoops. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Let's put this at the tippy top.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's so satisfying.
Yeah. So that sometimes it's doing one, and then the other times it's doing the other one. And then from there, so right now it's just going back and forth. And we can make it so that it goes, so right now it's going from -1 to 1. If we want it to be like true to like what we're actually describing, which is like, so we have like our x smooth and our y smooth. Right now it's like going way too into the negative, so we just do like +1. Plus 1 divided by 2, so that it goes from 0 to 1.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I see people do, like, I see that everywhere in Booker shaders as well. There's always the +1 and the dividing by 2.
Yeah.
Cool. That's so awesome. Oh, I really love it. It's almost, I love the fat wave at the end too. That's awesome.
Wow, that was really cool. What I was looking at right now.
Well, what's cool is there's like you were saying, there's like two things happening, so it's not a constant loop. It feels more like there's more variety than what we usually do. Yeah.
Why did you do the mix?
So.
Okay, interesting. 𝗶𝗶x, then you mix it with the smooth, and then you put the smooth mix, which is the time, like the animation. Okay, the interpolation of the animation, basically. Nice.
Yes. The mix is the ratio, right, that you're mixing with.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Ooh, that's
so like this is
I
like
really
the major.
I really love it. How is it coming along? I love it because it's like acid again. I really like this acid effect of like melting things, but at the same time, it's not too much. It's like it's coming and going.
I'm just really happy with the colors too.
Yeah.
Because usually when I play with colors, whenever I get into the darker tones, it doesn't look right. Like it's just not pleasing to the eye. But this is really nice.
It's so hard. Like it's
Color's
like
hard.
yeah. I have so much. I wish I took a color class while I was in college. There was like a color class that was like very famous, and all the painters would take it. And then I was like, I don't need to take that. I have the
Color's
computers.
so hard. Yeah, I have a lot of practice on it, and I like, yeah, I try to like let it sink in, but it's hard to apply.
Yeah,
but it looks really good.
But you can learn that too. Like you can read books about color theory and so on.
Yeah,
I was gonna say because I
you're
learned
right.
it that
I
way.
could self-learn it.
Like I didn't go to school for neither of the two things that I
Your
do.
colors are so good. Like you have like your colors.
Yeah.
Down pat.
Yeah, I really love the colors right now in the screen, by the way. Ooh, this takes me for another question to Char, by the way.
Yeah.
So how did you get started with this like algorithm? And can you explain
to
people in the stream
us.
right now? Because I just learned this last year as I'm getting more and more into creative coding and shaders and following other artists. Can you explain to people what algorithm is and how did you get like started with this thing?
Yes. So algorithms is a portmanteau of the word algorithm and rave. So what it is that two people or one person will go on stage and perform writing code to create the visuals and or music. So I create visuals. I sometimes do music, but I'm not very good at it.
What do you use for the music? Do you use Tidal?
I use Tidal. Yeah, I made like 2 songs and it was more of like a joke song, but it was really fun to make. And for live coding visuals, I use GLSL. I usually use a software called CodeLife. sometimes I'll use the Force, which is what I use to teach. And I think maybe I'll use this sometimes, shader.place. And as folks will be writing the code, they will edit it and create it based on like, whatever, maybe it's based on like the vibe of the room. Maybe they have a plan. Sometimes people wing it. Sometimes people know exactly what they're going to do. Sometimes people have code that's commented out and they'll comment it back in and then edit it. Like it's all valid. It's all valid live coding. Last night, a very talented live coder, 𝗦𝗲𝘀𝗀𝗀, was using Unreal and like editing Unreal Engine stuff as like a performance. Like that's live coding. Yeah, it was so good. So it's very booster.
You could. I didn't realize that if you like had if you prepped your set, I guess your visual set, and you like uncommented stuff, that was okay. I think that the demo scene has like traumatized me in that respect. Not traumatized.
I really want to know like
so hard because
I really want to know about your experiences over there across the big pond, because I feel like it's very different from over here. I guess. It's like, I guess it's in its popularity and also like it's like rules, because I definitely like see like demos happening and people are very like hierarchical sometimes, but that's honestly just the demo scene.
Yeah, well, there's a collective in Paris or in France. I don't know if it's France. I think it's France. Called Cookie Collective, and they're just like really impressive. They're so impressive. But I think that I don't know. I think that they wouldn't do the commenting thing, and because they're the closest thing to me, that has always made me assume that, because I would love to do, like I would totally be down to do it if I could prep it and like have bits that I could plug in and patches that I could bring in and just like, but if it's all done on the fly, that's too stressful for me.
I think it's totally fine.
I would just like,
I don't see it wrong. Why would you have like some chunks of code that?
Well, because in the demo thing, the challenge, right, is to like how good of a thing can you make from scratch with the least amount of code. There's just like so many factors.
Like code golfing.
Yeah.
Kind of like how can you do certain thing with the less strings of code? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But these days, computers can take more than 4 kilobytes. So I mean, I guess the respect for history, but also at the same time, like we could also do it different ways.
No, definitely. Cool. Well, that's why I like Orca for sound, because you can just bring in patches. It's super easy in that respect. And I dream of combining Orca and shaders eventually. It is on my list.
Yes.
That could be. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. brought her over to the dark
Eliza
side.
brought me to the side of Orca, and I'm getting it. I'm not sharing yet anything because it's not like great. I mean, it doesn't have to be great, but still I'm learning. So very
Right.
basic. So, but
Share
yeah,
all
I'm
your
very
tips and
curious.
loops. We love to hear them.
I'm excited to hear
Yeah.
what you make.
Yeah, and I would love to do a collab with Eliza about it. I mean, there's a tool already that a friend here, actually in Hamburg, Adab, he created.
Yeah, it's your buddy, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he wrote kind of like your shader tool. He wrote a tool for Orca collaboration, and two people can jump at the same time and do
Oh,
music. And I told
Yeah.
Eliza, just wait for me, and then we can
We'll
jump
do
it
on
on our
Monday.
stream. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Instead of shaders,
Yeah.
we can do Orca.
oh, that would be so cool. Maybe someone could be doing Arca and another
At the
person.
same time. I mean, we just
Yeah.
pass in the audio as uniforms.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that also.
Oh!
And do audio rec too. Yeah.
I do a lot of tippy shaders make me do a lot of tippy taps in various ways. I realize that as I've been editing these streams, I'm always just like, oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you have some Latino vibes because sometimes I was telling that Eliza that I feel that Latinos were more like always using like our hands or. But I mean, in Europe, I sometimes refer as well to Latin because it comes from Latin, like people in France or in Spain or in Italy, like as well. They're very like warm, or warmer than the people here on the northern of Europe, and more like. Yes. If you go, for example, to a restaurant in Italy, France, or Spain, like it's louder than if you go here to a restaurant in Germany or in Sweden, or people is like using more their hands, loud. I don't know. So.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Although when sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Montreal. I was born in Toronto.
Right. You said you
grew up in Montreal and Vancouver for a while. I did like the end of my high school in Vancouver, and then I moved to France like after my bachelor's to do my master's, and then I stayed.
Sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to interview y'all.
Okay. No, we can chat here. That's why we're here today.
Yeah.
You can as well ask us if you have questions.
Yeah, how did each of you get into it? Was it just searching online? I feel like that's the canonical way of doing it.
You can go ahead and tell your story if you want. Like shorting that way. And then I can say it like shortly as well. After
sure. I mean, when I moved here, I came from a background in video. Like my bachelor's is in communications and journalism and Italian studies. That's really pretty. And when I moved to France, I was like all set on a path to do like a master's in like online documentary film. And then I realized the technology was just not there because this was like a long time ago. It's 10 years ago. I'm outing myself as an oldie. But at the time, a friend of mine was studying at a design school where they were taking a course on processing. And he was like, I need to show you this thing. You're going to love it. And I was like super frustrated because I didn't want to write my master's thesis anymore on web documentaries. And I was like, what am I going to do? And then I started looking at installations and I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. But I had no entry point because I didn't know anything about any of it. And then I looked into processing and I was like, oh, wow. And everyone kept talking about it as like the bridge for artists to get into computers. And I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to do it. And then I realized how much math was involved and it really freaked me out for a couple of years. So I wrote about it. I researched it a lot. Like I wrote my thesis on like how creating with like being creative. How do I say that? How do I translate that? I wrote it in French, guys, sorry. But basically like coding as a creative changes your relationship to your artwork, basically. It sounds so pretentious when I say it out loud. But so I looked at that and talked to like, I remember I interviewed like, I don't know if you know 𝗏𝗲𝗀, but I interviewed him like 2 years ago. Yeah. He's awesome. And he was super encouraging and nice. And he's like, I don't know, a lot of the people that I talked to originally were like, yeah, it's so easy. You just like, it's just logic. You'll figure it out. He was the only one who was like, okay, it's actually really hard. It takes a lot of like effort and studying and you're going to need to take some time to like figure all of this out, but it's totally doable and it's super fun. And I was like, thank you for being honest with me. I really appreciate it. Cool. And then I did a workshop in Paris for processing with a bunch of really cool people. And from there, I just kept at it. And eventually, eventually they came out with P5, and I got really happy because processing with the Java applet back in the day, it was really hard to put things online and make interactive work that you could share with people. And I was like, why is this so hard? So again, the technology wasn't there yet. Yeah. And then Dan Schiffman with his Nature of Code book blew my mind, and then there was no stopping.
No, you're a force not to be reckoned with
Yeah.
in the creative coding art world.
And then someone whispered shaders to me one day. The guy who used to organize Processing Paris, who's like, he kind of like disappeared from the internet. He like moved away and like is very quiet now. So I won't say his name, but he was like, have you read the book of shaders? And I was like, no. And then I went to the website and there was like this moon rotating and there's all this fog. And I was like, what is this? And I looked into it and then I was hooked. Yeah. It was immediately like, I think that was the closest that I could ever get to like, how do you say that in English? Coup de foudre. Love at first sight.
What is that?
You know? Coup de foudre. It's like a lightning bolt that hits you. That's the literal translation.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's my style.
Cool.
That's amazing. I love all the shout outs too, just like the sprinkling of like people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the reason I kept at it, though. I saw a tweet today from someone being like, coding really pits you against yourself because there's so much like failure.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And if I had only like, because I've also been in like the more regular web dev space where there's a lot of like programmer culture, and it's really like it can be really off-putting if you're not used to it, which I wasn't for a long time. And so the creative coding community has been really encouraging, and people are just excited to like share their knowledge and help you figure stuff out, and that for me was everything. So
I think it's about finding the right communities too. I've learned
Totally.
for years too, so it's just like if you had a bad experience, you shouldn't stop there, but seek just a different community and different people. So sometimes it's about,
it's just very warm for me. I get the impression the creative coding community really like everyone kind of like helps each other out. I don't know, it makes me really happy.
That's so true. I think I feel really lucky that I got introduced to code in this community.
I love it.
Your turn, Eliza. Tell us your story.
Okay, now my story. So my story is as well, like, I guess I will say that I said that earlier before. I didn't study anything of what I did. Like back time in the uni, I went for a bachelor in marketing, but I was always interested in the creative side of things. So I wanted to become a copywriter back then and do this type of Cannes winning commercials that are more like storytelling rather than like junk in the TV. And I did that for some years. And then as well, back then I was studying photography for a couple of years, always into graphic design as a hobby. Like I was into this Photoshop Flash thing since the beginning of it. And then at some point when I had opportunity to swap from marketing in a job to do graphic design by luck. And then it was just very lucky because the graphic designer in this company got pregnant, and she was like, okay, I'm leaving like in 3 weeks. And then the company was like, what you're not giving notice even. And then they were panicking because it takes time to find someone. And I had in my resume that I could do Photoshop, Illustrator, and all this stuff. So they asked me, could you help us while we find someone? And I was like, sure. And then they liked my stuff, and then they asked me and they proposed to swap me instead of doing marketing.
Oh, super.
And then I realized, oh my God, I really love this. Like not only as a hobby, but actually doing it as a job, even more than the marketing aspect that I was doing back then, and creatively speaking. And then as I was doing graphic design back then, it was an internet company actually in California, in the US, because I lived for a couple of years in Santa
you lived
Cruz.
there for a while, it's true.
Yeah, I worked for an ISP local in a city that is very close to San Francisco in Bay Area.
Where is it?
Santa Cruz. I don't know if you've been there.
Oh yeah. It's nice.
It's like where O'Neill, the brand, lives, and as well the Santa Cruz brand of skateboards. It's one of the surf spots. It's a very nice small town, I must say. It's like people is wonderful in California. I really like the Bay Area, like San Francisco too.
Me too.
I really miss it. It's so nice in there.
It is really beautiful out there, and everyone's just so, yeah, everyone's so friendly and open out
Yeah,
there.
they're so laid back in there, so it's
Yeah.
really, really
I mean,
nice.
it's California. They live up to their reputation, I think, in that sense.
They
Everyone's
do.
so chill.
Yeah. So I had a great experience living there, and yeah, since I was working for this internet company, we were working on websites and things internet related, and then I started to get curious about how I get to program my own designs, because sometimes they wouldn't do what I said. Like if I had an idea, the developers were like, no, that's not possible. And I was like, oh my freaking god, then I'm gonna learn it so I can do it. Because you know, it was so frustrating that sometimes I would see something like this on the web, and that's why I came up with such concept and design, because I've seen it, but then they would tell me that they couldn't do it, and I was like,
That's exactly the program. Like, yeah, you become a programmer because you're like, I need to be able to be able to do this, or be able to like you can't tell me no. I think that's like the perfect reason to become a
maybe. I think
programmer.
I know many that come from that as well. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know, that what I meant is like, you just wanted to kind of like do your own thing instead of like passing it to somebody else as well to take a. And yeah, that's how I started with like development, I guess. Back then I moved to Germany in between, and it was when I came to this country that I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to search for an internship in web dev design, and then that's how I started kind of like doing the programming part. But the creative part of it took me quite some time, because for many years I was just designing and doing front end freelancing, and I didn't know about this until recently, like 3 years ago. I learned about and this is something really funny, because I love music, I love the alternative scene, and I've seen, like, as I said before, visuals. I go to museums a lot since I was 15, so I've seen installations, but it's the kind of thing that I always saw it, but it would be like so far away from me. Like I would be like so tripped, like, oh, I would love to maybe do, but I had no idea, and I didn't know anybody as well, that I guess, and I never researched it either. So and it was
so you
just
didn't
like,
know what to look for.
yeah, exactly. So it was like, it was there, and it really like called my attention, but at the same time, like,
you don't know where to start. Yeah,
exactly. So, and you don't know anybody so that talks about it. And until like 3 years ago, I started, the more I meet like developers and went to conferences and things like that, then I started to learn like, oh, creative coding. And that's Tim, who helped me with the Mick, who was here earlier. He has a collective called l𝗶𝗀𝗀, and they do visuals and music. And they were in Berlin. And when I saw them, it blew my mind, and I was like, oh my god, I have to learn JavaScript, because I wasn't even so good in JavaScript yet back then. So, and I was like, oh, fuck, I have to get into this and do that kind of stuff. So,
I think it's funny because I think we're like the generation after the Flash generation. Like so many of my friends started with Flash, and I remember in high school being like, well, in high school I was totally, I got had by like marketing that was geared towards boys. So I was like, computers and math, no thank you. And I remember a kid in my photography class was obsessed with making Flash websites, and I was like, interested, but also like, no, I'm not allowed to be interested, so I'm like not going to be interested, which is so lame. But I say that because there's someone in the chat who said, Dustin, who said, I started with Flash before and after AS 2.0 Flash made it so accessible to work with graphics and code. And I think that I've had a lot of feedback from people who said that for them, moving to something like Unity or Unreal reminded them a lot of using Flash. But I don't know, I never used Flash. But I guess it's a mix of scripting and user interface. I think that's what they mean.
It could be, because I use Flash only, and you had the keyframes things to do like the animation stuff. So you could either write the action script thing, or you could just the keyframes, and then you had this visual thing, no? So to whatever you want animating.
Oh, interesting. Because I know you can script in After Effects, I think. Yeah, you can script in After Effects. So I feel like that's close to Adobe After Effects.
And I try that.
And I've seen that you can script in Blender too, but Blender is like one of those things on my list of like, I really want to learn it, but I know that it's going to take so much time.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with our shader.
Yeah, me
Yes,
too. I
I'm
was
very.
seeing that the char was like
Yeah, I was.
still tweaking as we were talking, so
And
I love it.
and I saw that you used A10 and tan, which makes me
Yes,
so
I did.
happy.
Yeah,
It's my
yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, I wanted to have more of like a circular kind of like phasing between the two
Yeah.
Y and X smooth mods. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to use A10 of Y over X. And I wonder if I switch these, would it have a profound impact? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not
A
even
little
like
bit.
exactly sure what's going on, but I
Well,
think it's
because like
I
I
like
think
it.
originally you had it divided by, and then I added a times to see the difference. It's like very subtle. I think
Oh,
it's just
I
like
love that one. I
yeah.
love with less now. Instead of a 10, I think I like it like
yeah,
or
yeah. I
a
Like
think
small
the
it's
number.
pattern is
A
more
small
like yeah.
number.
You know
that's
what?
better.
It reminds me of like an oil slick. Am I
It
saying
does,
that?
yeah.
An
Like
oil
Yeah.
pattern on the ground.
Yes, no, that's exactly, yes.
I'm like that person when I see them on the street, I have to stop and like crouch
Yeah.
down and like, take 10 photos, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing?"
Yeah.
No, Mimetic started with Max,
Flash.
MSP, and Super Collider, VVV,
Yeah.
all the things. I've tried all of these things, but I get really overwhelmed with
haven't tried
nodal-based
BBV.
coding. I don't know why. It
With
gets
what? Nodal?
node-based, yeah, the
Mm.
dragging of the things. I don't know
Mm.
why.
Me
People
too.
thought
It's
that
like
I would.
Touch Designer. Touch Designer is like this, and this is why it's been
Yeah.
taking me a while to get into it. To be honest, I guess I prefer
Yeah.
to code rather than to have like the notes things. So yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's weird though because everyone's always like, but it's so much easier, and I'm like, I don't know. I kind of just like writing.
Yeah,
Started
Yeah,
but every
JavaScript,
person is different, no?
JS,
So for some are more visuals, for others like more like thinking side.
yeah.
So the note thing could be like for some people it's easier, kind of like the graphics, and for others it's
That
like,
being said, though, the same does not hold true for me for sound. So, like, I say that because someone, 𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, I don't know if I'm saying that right, was saying Super Collider's on my list to learn one day. And I started on Super Collider, and Super Collider was so, but I'm also not a fan of
what
Java.
is Super
in general.
Collider? Because I saw that you mentioned that before too. I don't even
It
know
makes,
what it is.
it's like live coding sound, but it's like, I find it really hard to make
Like
sound
Orca?
that way. Not at all.
Okay.
Because you're writing lines of code. It's not just like Orca is more like game of life, I guess I'd say, in its approach to how to make sound. It's like little blocks,
Yeah.
and you just string them together. And Super Collider is like you need to understand the code you're writing, and you also need to have enough of a musical,
I get it. Like writing
technical
notes,
musical
basically.
knowledge.
Yeah, like people
Yeah.
who writes music with the notes, no, basically.
Yeah,
With
if
the
you
code.
don't understand what the functions are for, then you're you won't intuitively know what to reach for. But Tidal runs on top of Super Collider, if I'm not mistaken.
It uses it, or it can use anything as like a sound, kind of. Ooh,
Sorry,
as like
I'm
a
just
sound.
like
I really like that.
coming
So
here
nice.
Yeah.
instead of that.
As like a sound engine, and so you can use like I use Super Dirt for sound engine, but I also use. Tidal.
Isn't Super Dirt part of Super Collider?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Because I remember the guy. Oh, I can't remember his name. I'm terrible, but he's like he does basically all the documentation for Tidal.
Alex McLean.
Yeah, he helped me set up with Super Dirt and Tidal and everything because he had done a whole series of like workshop walkthroughs for how to use it. And,
yeah, he made Tidal cycles, I think.
Oh, he made it. Oh, okay. That's why he knows all the things. That makes so much sense. He's like so generous with his time. Moritz Geisman, you didn't have to reload. That's crazy because I think we went offline for like a half second.
Oh, super.
Animalo says, Touch Designer is pretty lovely. I often just make stuff there and then figure out how to code it later. What? Now I'm curious. I need to look into that. So you like brainstorm in Touch Designer and then code it after. I met someone a year or two ago who did all of his shaders in Touch Designer. But I think I think that there's like a window you can code in there.
Yes, there is. I know that one. And that part actually is not so hard.
Is shaders in Touch Designer GLSL or HLSL?
GLSL.
Okay.
I mean, at least the little window where you can literally just paste the code or it's GLSL. As far as
because of my Unity work, I'm finally coming around to like being able to do the equivalencies between GLSL and HLSL. It's tricky though. It often throws me off.
Yeah. I feel, having a Windows and being like a primary like Windows, using Windows primarily has been pretty good for me to learn the differences in them.
Totally. Awesome. Okay, so we're back now. We have our shader up and everything. Instances are pretty cool in TD instances. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think as soon as you get used to working in one setting, if you jump into a new context, it can be tricky. But I think it's good to stay flexible, definitely. Because I know a lot of people, for example, when Flash stopped being a thing, were like really frustrated that they'd have to learn again something new. But that's also kind of why I like shaders, because shaders to me is like the language that you can plug into like all the things. You can use it in open frameworks, in JavaScript, in Unity. I mean, it's always a little bit different, but also very similar.
That's why I wanted to learn it. Honestly, that's why I got started with shaders. Speaking about shaders, just because when I discovered creative coding, slowly I started to discover, one can do visuals, one can do installations, and I keep hearing from artists like, shaders, GLSL, shaders. I have to learn this thing so I can do everything as well. Not only like web-based, but also like
exactly. That's the thing. You can. It's so transposable, and the logic and stuff that you learn doing shaders, it always helps you elsewhere too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all of the
totally
mathy
applies.
stuff.
I agree. Like a lot of
geometry shaders. Oh, Mimetique, you're blowing my mind. I did a workshop in compute shaders like a year ago, and it was literally mind bending.
Was it the psycho? Yeah. Like I did that one I did that one as well.
I want to do it again because I got through like 2 out of 3 of the modules, I think, or something like that. I did like 2/3 of it basically, but I really
I also didn't get to finish it, but but I had to agree with him that I wouldn't teach cellular automaton like for the next 3 years, and I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Really? But he wouldn't let you take it unless you agreed not to teach?
No.
Wow.
I guess he's protecting his class, but but anyways, that kind of, I was kind of like, oh.
But cellular automaton doesn't belong to.
I know, it was kind of. Oh, I couldn't teach it. I couldn't teach it in the context of like shaders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry, everyone.
A year and a half ago, no?
Okay. Yeah, it's true. It has been a year and a half, so I only have a year and a half left of not teaching it.
But that's what overwhelmed me in that class actually, was that there was a lot of shader stuff to know, and then there was a lot of just like science stuff to know, and I was like, oh my god, it's like a lot of things to know about. And also like threads, the threads thing also. I just don't know enough of that.
What do you mean about the threads?
Like or kernels, sorry, not threads, kernels. I was like, whoa.
Right.
Ooh, so pretty.
Sorry, I'm changing the
someone is changing something.
Yes, I'm changing the oscillation in the cosine palette function because I noticed that there was like a hard line between the so like if we go back to what it was before, not that one, this one.
Here, yeah.
Oops, I fucked up. Sorry.
No problem.
It's this one. So you see that there's like a hard line between like the blue and the yellow
the black,
and stuff. And so I was and so I was kind of confused why that was happening because of the way that the cosine palette function works is that you kind of like smoothly go through everything, and only when there's like a hard when it doesn't fit within like the two like if it doesn't complete a cycle within 2π, so if it isn't in the same place where it started, it cuts it off, and then it goes off to. I don't know exactly why. I forget why, but to explain it, but like how do I explain
it? Like it needs to do a full revolution or edge.
Yeah, or else you get a hard edge. And so it's just, so I knew that was in the oscillator. So this is like kind of like how I program a lot of times. It's like I know generally like what is happening like where, but I can explain it to me, like I can explain it like completely thoroughly, but I kind of get the gist of it. So like I understand that the oscillation is kind of like what I need to change to make it so that it would be like a smooth transfer, because that changes how many frequency it goes through for the phase of 2π. And so like if I were to, so right now I think the 0.5 is in the first variable of oscillation. I think that's what was making this hard. So when I changed that to 0, it did kind of get rid of that. But then I didn't like it really reduced the amount of color. Like, yeah. So now we have like different colors. So maybe if I change phase, maybe that'll like make it more. Like I don't really like this color
Phase
palette.
is the position that you start on, right? In the oscillation. Yeah.
Yes. So if we like change this to like something else, maybe
something bigger.
Yeah, we could do like 3. Does that change anything? Or is it mad at me now?
It's not changing. Maybe you need to.
Are we getting an error? Did update? No, you're good.
I'm good.
I think it's just we have to find the.
Oh
no.
Why is it pink sometimes?
It has to be a really big color because it's isn't it because like that would be the red spectrum, like the first.
Yes.
Like the more you add of it.
There we go. Okay, so it just depends where it is. Like I don't think there's any kind of like rhyme or like any reason why like big number versus small number doesn't really matter because it's a cosine. So you could, but it just depends on where it falls within like the 0 point, it's like from 6.28. Like as long as it's like somewhere between there. I'm sorry, I'm not explaining this correctly, but basically like because
between 0 and 2 pi, right? You want the full revolution?
Yeah. So it has to be, it can be between 0 and 2 pi, but it just doesn't matter. Like if it's bigger than 2 pi, it'll just get truncated to like something that's between 0 and 2 pi. So it can be a really big number, but it doesn't necessarily.
It gets thrown back in. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So like we just have to choose like something. But I don't like how, I mean, it's too pink now. So maybe if I reduce the
I kind of like what
contrast
we had before with more colors.
Yeah.
Sean is a fan of the naming of the components in the cosine palette. Yes, it is very clear. It's easier to use that way. I think Eliza and I have definitely implemented a different cosine palette, like an earlier iteration of it where there wasn't.
I think this
clear.
This is an adaptation from Char. It's so the one that we use is the one from Inigo. With the 5 values on the as parameters. But Char readapted it in here, and I like this adaptation.
And we renamed them. It's so much easier that way, because or else you don't know. Like, if it's just a letter, often is a harder guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, it's so weird. I feel like this doesn't have any sort of like. I want to try to get good colors that we like with this version of without the
hard edges.
Yeah, so I think that we could fiddle around in here for a little bit. How would y'all feel about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh,
like the right. Oh, right, because it's. Want me to move my mouse?
No, I wanted you to keep tweaking what you were tweaking before, so it was.
Okay.
You had other colors, I think.
And then 0.5.
Ooh, yeah.
And then 0.3, and then 0.1.
Ooh,
nice. Because now we introduce again more colors.
It's a little dark. We always end up on pink, white, and blue. It's just where we go. We're missing some yellow because
it was there.
My favorite color is yellow, but it's the happy color.
All right, so we need more. Yellow is definitely the weirdest. Yeah, because it's none of it. So if you have RGB, like none of these. If you have red, green, and blue paint, none of them mix to make yellow. But for some reason in shaders, red and green make yellow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we need to increase those too.
Yeah. So
green and where's the green in the contrast, or with the
RG? I guess it would be.
The second one is the green.
Where's my mouse? Yeah, RG.
So just.
Whoa, that looks ugly. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's very bright. I'm
just gonna watch because both of you are changing stuff. So.
Shader coders, including myself, tend to be very too cryptic with variable names. I agree.
Kind of like it.
Yeah, I remember
me too. When I watch like sometimes like shader toy, it's like, what do they mean?
It's all just letters. It's all just letters.
I prefer to write variables like you. Like, I mean, I do it in every language, I guess. If I'm writing JavaScript too, I prefer to, because sometimes I forget even myself. Like in my future me, the future me is like, well, what the hell was I doing? If I only put like B or C, then then it's like, oh, what did I mean?
I think it's like grandfathered in from when folks had to like, wow.
That's really
When
nice.
folks had
Green is coming. Sorry, I was
oh yeah, there's
distracted
green.
by the green coming in slowly. So
Oh,
maybe
I
the
love
yellow will
it.
come soon.
You think?
Yeah,
You
I
guys are
have faith.
confident.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
we're trying. But this reminds me of like one of like the second shows I did was I had like a lot because I was in Pittsburgh and there weren't a lot of visualists. There was like 5 visualists in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, there's the yellow. There she
There
is.
is. You find it.
The like one of the first gigs I had, which was pretty big. It was for this festival named 𝗶𝗸. And the reason I say there's only 5 visualists is because like there wasn't, so obviously I had work. There was just like a need. So even though I was a beginner, I was getting good gigs. And at 𝗶𝗸, I remember Lauren, who's like the amazing organizer. She was like, she comes up, she's like, can you make the visuals just like a little more green? Like that's all I need. And then I was like,
oh, how do I make green?
I need to make them green.
Hyperventilating, like.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. And I was like, and she was like, is that hard to ask? And I'm like, yes. And it's not because like she's used to working with like visualists who it's like green arrow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like do it more up or make it bigger or do this and that.
Yeah. And I'm like, give me like 5 minutes.
I like that term too, visualist. I'm gonna start using that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, congrats to
really like
Dustin
the
who's getting
colors.
his COVID vaccination. Thank you for tuning in though. And that's the best reason to leave this stream is to get yourself vaccinated. Do it. Well done.
A lot of people is getting vaccinated right now. I think it's since the last month.
I think in the States, I listened to a report on that today in the New Yorker about how the U.S. is managing it so much better than Europe, so much better than Europe.
Really? We're hearing
only like 10% of Europe that's gotten vaccinated so far. That's it.
Oh.
They just didn't invest the same way that the American government did in getting everything. So we're very slow to the races.
We keep hearing how I think it was Israel is doing great.
Yeah, they've been vaccinating people for forever though. They were really on top of it. They got started before anybody else. Legendre now. Oh yeah, Sean also has had a client tell me to get rid of the green.
People don't like green.
I'm into these colors, guys.
Like
I don't know if you like
Me too. This is
I really
wonderful.
like the colors right now.
Some yellow, some blue. I just like the mix. There's just such a
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Please, somebody say it before it like breaks again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. It must have been something in the shader that made it both because it crashed for both of us.
Yeah,
so what I'm thinking is that I think it was the line that had tan on it, and so
I was trying to tweak that one, and now I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch
it. My favorite function is the thing that fucks it up.
I'm giving a side eye to the tan function right now. I'm like, you've behaved.
Infinity is hard though. Infinity is a hard thing to manage, I think.
Computers try their best.
But now it displays quite well, I must say, in the way that it was applying here. I really like it.
I don't know how it looks on your screen, but on my 4K screen, it looks really nice. Very into this.
Well, I'm not watching it in my... I actually have this open in an... What is it? Like, it's not even like my high resolution. And it looks really great. So I can imagine. So.
Yay.
And maybe that's the reason why I couldn't see this thing before. Earlier, I was thinking that Char was trying. Because I did notice that when I do shader stuff, and then I look at it in my Retina screen on my Mac, and if I put it in my monitor, which is like, I don't know, normal resolution, which is not like Retina, then the shader sometimes looks different. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them is like the resolution effects.
I know that there's also a huge discrepancy between the colors that I see on my Razer and the colors on a Mac. There's like a really big difference, and I've tried so many times to control for it, but it's just not. I can't. I spend a lot of time on my iPhone just like, does it look the same? But
yeah, but I was gonna say sometimes with the browsers, it's pretty much enough. You know, if it's something web-based like this, I'm right now I'm in Firefox, but if I would open this in Chrome again, then it's a little bit more pale. Normally the colors in Chrome and Firefox has more contrast.
But even if you're like in Unity, for example, if I do something in Unity and I put it on like my friend's tower, the colors are like so different, and it drives her. I mean, I don't mind. I'm very much like, meh, it is what it is. But she gets very annoyed about it. She's an art director, though. I think she's more specific, in the same way that you have your designer specific eye. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Sometimes it's like you're a little bit more picky.
I'm very much kind of like I don't know what the word is, but I don't have that thing. I think no, I don't have it. I'm always just like, well, the pixel will be whatever color it wants to be today.
Yeah. You both have a great taste. Like you kept saying that when we started to collab together, but you have a great taste, like in the stuff that you do, even when you feel like maybe you don't have that. You do.
Oh yes, like, I was telling you how self-conscious I was because I don't have a background in design. Like yeah. I didn't go to school for it, so I'm always like, do I belong?
Me too.
But me neither. I didn't go to school for that either. So.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's funny. You and I went to the school for the same thing, and I think you told me earlier today that you were really into martial arts, and I had to laugh because me too.
Really?
Wow!
Oh my god!
I've done judo, taekwondo, karate, and jujitsu.
Like doing taekwondo and kung fu.
No way!
Yeah, kung fu for a year and taekwondo for
kung fu is amazing.
6 or 7 years of my life been doing taekwondo since
I got to green in taekwondo.
Oh, me, I got to blue. Almost the same. Just one.
Wow.
Yeah, Eliza and I, the parallels are like.
This is crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're basically the same person in a different body.
Yeah, this is amazing. I can't believe you are.
I'm just trying to.
Sorry.
No.
I get always like blows my mind when I say something and Eliza had done this as well in the past, so it's just crazy.
Oh, someone's here listening while they sew. I love that. What are you sewing? Someone just popped in. I'm very curious if you want to tell us what you're sewing while you're watching the shaders. Kind of love that.
Do you?
There's
you can do that? Can you sew?
So
I can never pronounce this. Yeah, can you do it?
It's because it's written like sew, but you say so. Yeah. Can I sew? I mean, I can like fix a hole if that's what you're asking, or like add a button to something. I can get it done when it needs to be done, but I can't sew.
And you, Char, can you do this?
I like it. I like modifying clothes, so I'll just add stuff to clothes, like my pants. I like added like a little drawstring because I like just the other day because I.
So then you're good. You can actually.
Do you do by hand or with a machine?
I do it all by hand. I just modify things like little tiny things. Like if something doesn't fit right, or if I want it to be like this, I'll mod it. So it's like I'm very into like the hack, like just like
hacker. You
hacker and the hacker.
No, but I love that. But a long time ago, in like 2007, before fashion blogging was like what it is today, the whole scene was about that, and I loved it. People would be deconstructing T-shirts and patching things up in
DIY.
different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
I loved it.
And I did that a lot. And when I was in uni, I loved doing that. And I keep telling myself, there's this girl that that's so pretty. Wait, how did you do that?
Oh yeah, I got lost. I got lost.
So great. I love it.
Where
I don't
are
know if
you?
that's on purpose, but it's
you added length.
Yeah. Yes. And so I did this whole thing. Let me do plus instead of divide.
Then defect is
length. Cool.
Yeah, so it's using like
that's so cool.
But I want to use it elsewhere. Like I wanted to just like change something. Yeah, I don't know if I want to use it there. Like perhaps
it looked like a TV kind of an overlay of an old school TV vibe.
Yeah. Ooh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Now I don't see the change. I see it now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like this, like
I enjoyed
that's the
this
oscillation.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
you like?
Fun.
Ooh, do you know this film or book? What is it, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Or
yes.
It reminds me a little bit of that, like the vibe,
it
the
does.
colors.
Yeah, it's
like purplish and green.
Yeah,
and like trippy.
I love the glowy effect that it has on
Wait a minute. How did you get that? Wait, where did you add length?
Here in the cosPalette.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
In the face. That's why I was like, how is it affecting it's so good.
And I assume if we put 2 in here, is less of those spinning things, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Frequencies.
Oh, I love it.
I would be done to make it smaller.
Yeah.
I still want to. I feel like I want to still put it elsewhere. Is it okay?
Yeah,
we can save this one and then I can. Okay.
Yeah, just move it.
Oops.
I'm just gonna make it. That's the other thing that I really enjoy about shaders and creative coding in general is the overlap with like sound. It's really just like frequencies and stuff.
Yeah.
All about bending waves.
Yeah.
Totally happy. I code manage
like our
all
shader
day.
anyway so far.
Oh, okay. A men's shirt for myself. I also don't have a design sewing degree, just teaching myself. Awesome. Your pandemic hobby is sewing. That's really, I love it. And it's totally hacking. Code manage all day, and I wanted to think, do with my hands. Yeah, I feel that. I started drawing again, but
Really?
Yeah, but I don't like share it because it's not very good.
You're like me.
I feel like it's not good. You know what I mean?
It's like me with the sounds. Like.
It's just like doodles, and I see so many people sometimes sharing their doodles online, and I'm like, oh yeah, you went to art school. I was like, okay. And I'm sitting there with my markers making, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like very.
You never know what strikes people though. That's another thing that like sometimes folks. I think that's what keeps me going a lot of times. Like there are like the fact that I'm in this like residency with Patricio, like he's way like like if I were to like try to like compare, I shouldn't, but like in my mind sometimes yeah. So I'm like, why am I even here? And then I'm like, I shouldn't like
question that.
Yeah.
You know what? If you ever do have this type of thoughts, talk to him about it, because I've talked to him about that, and he's wonderful, and he'll give you such lovely advice, or lovely advice, no, but feedback. Like he's just like a wonderful person to talk to about that kind of thing. Yeah. He'll make you feel really good about what you're doing and like why you're doing it.
I wish it was in person. Like I like to make everything like explicit, like open up a message and like type it to them, and then like I like edit the type. Like I wish I'll do it, but I feel like having it doing it like if we were to be in like the same room, I could just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it, and then I'll just say it, and then there's no turning back.
I thought it was in person. Like I totally forgot COVID, and also I know that he doesn't live in New York, so how would that be possible? And I did have that conversation with him in person. You're right. So I get it.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm not trying to make excuses though. Yeah. But anyways, where was I going with this? I totally forget. I was talking about
something. Weren't you talking about?
Quarantine.
Doing stuff even though you're not the best at it.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that's the only way that I have gotten anywhere in life, is sucking at something for a very, very long time. So this is, I guess, going back to finishing the story of how I got into live coding. So I have Lauren Gashinsky, who I shouted out before, but she got me a really small gig because she just needed someone to perform at this Thursday night show. And it wasn't going to be huge. It was in this basement at this place called, I think it was Spirit. And like 6 people showed up, but I was so nervous. And I tried to live code, and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to set up a live code situation. I couldn't even set it up. I tried like for like the entire day before. I couldn't set it up because I just didn't know what was happening. And so what I ended up doing is I just wrote some JavaScript stuff. Like I wrote some like JavaScript like shader stuff, and then I wrote JavaScript functions that I could call on the console. And I was like, this is live coding. And also it was like And so I did it in this like context that was totally not live coding. Like it was with 2 like Via App, who's like this was a DJ and a musician, and Nancy Drone was also there, she's in Germany now. And then but I put it in my like description, I put live coder Char Stiles, and then even though it wasn't live coding technically. And so then Kevin Bednar, who's the kind of ringleader, or one of the ringleaders in Live Code Pittsburgh group, he was having an algo rave, and he was like bringing over people from England, like Little Data, and like people that were kind of like a little well known in the industry. But then he like needed someone to do visuals, and I was there, and he didn't know who I was, but he emailed me. He was like, "Do you want to do the show?" I was like, "Sure." And So the first time I was actually live coding was in a show with Little Data, and in Kingdom, and like all of these like other people who are Kindom. I think his name is Kindom. I know I said Kingdom, but all these other people and Callum Dunn who are like they're all just like well-known names and like and I remember it was this huge screen. Like the screen was like gigantic, and I had forgotten to like full screen, and so I did visuals for Callum Gunn, and like no one told me. I don't know why. I think they thought it was on purpose. But then I got the pictures back of like this is what your visuals look like, and then Callum Gunn is performing with this giant chrome like over his entire torso from like my doc. And I remember
I love it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and I was like, yeah. And so I was
Why
like,
nobody
kind of
told
like,
me?
I know. And also,
I'm
like,
sure they thought it was part of the aesthetic. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Either one of the two things. They thought that, or they were just too kind to tell Char because
exactly.
So.
Little Data, by the way, is the person who does the remixes that I couldn't remember their name before.
Oh,
in
cool.
Title. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll find some really fun like R&B remixes.
Sick.
With Title. But that's an amazing story. I love it.
Yeah, I remember while I was coding, so I didn't really know like anyone's like if they were big or not. I was kind of I don't know. And so while I was like programming, like he comes up to me, he's like, I remember he said, "What's happening here?" And of course, like my brain, I took that as like he's trying to insult me or whatever. But then I was like, no, he's probably just asking me like, yeah, I know, I get like, yeah, I need to like calm down. But I think he was just like being like, like, hey, what's happening? But I was also like, he probably thought that I was able to like have a conversation and code at the same time, but I was not able to do that at all. And so I was just kind of like nothing. I mean, I didn't say that, but I kind of had that vibe, I guess, where I was like, oh, I'm just doing GLSL. Sorry. Yeah.
But I was gonna say that I think that's an amazing feeling to be a beginner, and I must say that for like probably like it seems that the three of us are the same. Like we like to learn things like constantly, so then you will always be a beginner. Like and again, like you cannot continue, or that's a feeling that I have and that I've heard from other people. No, you cannot continue like growing if you don't kind of like get started, especially like in this thing like with creative coding or tech. No, you have to always like be out of your comfort zone and feel like a newbie kind of, because there's no way to start as an expert or like.
I mean, coding is the first place I've ever landed where I never get bored. I remember one of the first jobs, because there's always something new happening, and one of my first jobs in Paris was at a production company where my boss, who was wonderful, but I remember him telling me. He was then my age now, and he was like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to learn anything anymore. I'm just going to pay people to do stuff for me. Like I've learned everything that I want to learn. And I was like,
oh, sick.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Your brain's going to turn into much, but okay.
I like that you're like concerned. You're like, no.
No, I can't. I get too bored. If I understand something too well, then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm gonna go do something new.
Yeah.
So shaders is fun for that because I mean it's an infinite rabbit hole.
Right. You always have more math because it's like it's so tied to like mathematics and signal processing. I think that, and people have been working on math for a while, or so I've heard.
Yeah, just a little while.
Yeah, just, people have been just thinking about it for a little bit.
Yeah. What else is there? There's also that tool. I think Hydra, right? Also,
Jack is like I'm such a fangirl.
There's a talk she gave that I've watched like 5 times, I think, where she walked you through like her tool and how she thought about it, and I love that stuff. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat, but lots of love for all of that stuff. Who doesn't want to learn more?
Just started with creative coding. Just want to be. No, be patient, by the way, because maybe. But also, I would like to say that because when 2 people are getting started, might be possible that the other one like learns faster. But every person, please never compare yourself with others and just be patient with your own how it is, because some people is really faster to learn certain things if they have the skill higher than you, but that shouldn't stop you. Just like if you really want to do something, just be patient with yourself. I always like to tell people that.
Yeah. And like, let your curiosity guide you. I used to think that I needed to learn very specific things because like of whatever track people had like written about on the internet, to like in computer science.
Me too. In the beginning, I was like,
and some of it was just like, I didn't speak to me, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to know this. I'm just going to do the things that I do. And then I figured it out anyways. Like a lot of the math stuff, for example, I can't just like read a math book and get it. I need to like move pixels around on the screen and be like, oh, this is how that works. Yeah. And then in hindsight, I can go back and look at a graph, and then I'll be like, okay, I think I can sort of figure this out now.
Yeah, it opens so many doors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm such like an evangelist with programming. I'm like, everyone should learn handbook, but I know like that's not.
Have you read any Seymour Papert before?
No.
Mindstorms? I highly recommend. He's this like amazing dude from the 70s who wanted to revolutionize the educational system, except that it was so ingrained in the institution that you couldn't do it. But he wanted to give kids the opportunity to learn about subjects through programming because it gave you total control over like how to approach the subject, because you can approach programming from so many angles. And then I thought about coronavirus and how everything's kind of being restructured. And then I was like, oh my God, now is the time. Tablet will have its moment. People can reorganize the way they're learning. Finally. Cash flow learns very slowly compared to a lot of other really? You're totally reassuring me. I've always felt like such a turtle when I learned.
Me too. I have the same.
We've talked about it before.
With it. It's like this imposter syndrome thing, but
persistence is the only thing that matters. Absolutely.
So I do tell myself the same things that I'm like kind of advising people. I tell it to myself as well. All the time, like okay, be patient when I like forget about it. So just to be in
is it frozen on a ilithya screen?
It is. It is not frozen for you?
No. What did you tweaked something though? It's really pretty. You made it like dusty.
I'm glad that you told me, because I thought maybe you were like, I don't know, stopping.
It's still working for me.
Oh, if I froze it.
Sean says he knew very little before starting daily, so being persistent helps a ton, especially with imposter syndrome. Interesting. I always get too nervous to do dailies because it's so much to keep up with.
By the way, everything froze yet again for me, so I hope that we don't go offline. I hope.
I'm sure we won't. If you guys can still hear us, let us know. But
I think they can. So far, we're good in OBS.
You're frozen for me, Eliza, but I can still see everybody
I cannot move my computer. No.
Oh, you're back. Oh, sort of. You're janky.
Hold on a second. This is crazy. I'm assuming that it might be crashing for me a lot because I'm hosting the stream. So maybe for my computer is like doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot, I think.
Because I wonder why is it crashing so much for me and for you not.
Oh, for sure, because you have OBS running. I'm sure it's just that. I'm really reassured by how many people in the chat are saying they feel like they're slow learners. I always felt like
crazy.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna read it out loud. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 posted. Best programming quote for me: "Let us change our traditional attitude to the construction of programs. Instead of imagining that our main task is to instruct a computer what to do, let us concentrate rather on explaining to humans what we want the computer to do."
Yes.
Human-centric.
Who's that from? That sounds like it's right from the book that I was quoting, but maybe not. But awesome. A lot of imposter syndrome being in a computer major. See, so I say that I'm self-taught because the boot camp I attended didn't really do much for me, but the boot camp that I attended also was full of people who were angry that people were doing boot camps. Like the teachers were angry because they'd done computer science at school, and they were like, "You think you can learn computer science in 6 weeks?" I don't think so.
Jealous. Yeah.
They were so not nice. And I showed up being like, "I want to make an audio-visual video in a browser," and they were like, "What are you talking about? That's not what you're here for." And I'm like, "Yes, it is." I'm like, no, we're going to teach you how to make web stores. I was like, that's not what I want to do.
Well, I'm happy you arrived here.
Donald Knuth. Oh, I know that name.
Is that the same dude that you were talking about?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it's a name I've heard before. The Art of Programming. I think I have that book on my Kindle.
Is it a Swedish person, by the way?
Donald Knuth. I don't know. Let me Wikipedia him. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Definitely not Swedish. Maybe Swedish family, but he was born in America.
I just wondered the last name.
And he won the 1974 Turing Award. His thesis, finite semi-fields and projective something something. Wow.
Same, just kidding.
Honestly, though, I say this a lot, but if I hadn't, like, if this kind of stuff, creative coding had existed when I was a teenager, I very likely would have ended up studying math in university and not thinking that I wasn't a math person all my life. Like, I find, finite semi-fields and projective planes, 1963. Oh, there's a PDF of it. I wonder if I could understand any of it.
You should put this on the chat for us if you found it.
The PDF?
Yeah.
Of his thesis? I could put it on the chat. I don't know if anyone want to read it.
I want to read it.
Just curious.
Doctor of Philosophy. Oh, okay. If it's a philosophy paper, I could do that. And most of the stuff that I read about math is like philosophy angle, because when I see the Greek letters, I get really thrown off because I just don't know how to read them. Let me see if I can. If anyone wants to read, I'll put it in the chat.
Do we like these colors, by the way?
Yeah, I'm fine with them.
I love it. It's very early 90s. I'm getting a grunge vibe.
But yeah, but now I feel like we miss the yellow from Eliza. That she
Yeah,
likes,
we
that
are.
I know that she likes.
I know. Because I was trying to get it back to being smooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color, by the way, Char? Like when you're
I wanted to ask you that too.
What is your color choice to do for your art per se? Not like specifically.
Okay, for my art.
Do you have a color? Or
is it different from your favorite color in life?
That's a good question. All these questions are so. I think I like bright green. Like I like art. Like 0, 255, 0. I just like using that like as little highlights like that and like black, like a black background and then just like pops of green. I love that. I don't really use it that much in like my artwork. I think my artwork just does its own thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I like dark and then pops of neon. I guess I don't have any neon on right now, but
and in real life, is that your favorite color in real life?
Green? Yeah, I guess so. I like neon. Like neons, like I have this like neon shirt that I got.
Cool.
And I like it.
Yeah. Orange. No, or...
Yeah. I know that was like I just gave like a response like a genre of colors, but I like neons. Well, I guess so. I like neon. Like neons like Oh, I hear myself.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was me. Sorry. I was like, what is happening?
Somebody put the sound.
I'm trying to get into the Twitch to give you guys that thesis.
That's okay. Even if it's like not.
If it's too complicated, you don't have to do it. I assumed that you were already on the chat.
No, I was. I had to remember that I was in Firefox, and then I had to log in, and I was like, oh my goodness. Then I was like, wait, I can just open my Chrome. It's already open.
It's all right.
No,
I thought you had
I'm
it open.
so close. I am. I'm so close. Here.
How do you feel about
your color story? Thanks for sharing.
How do we feel about opening up the gates to the?
Oh yeah,
I feel good. Did you save this anyway? So...
Okay, let me save it. Okay, so y'all 16 are the persistent viewers. If you weren't here in the beginning, we said that y'all get to come into our room and shape code with us.
Yeah.
And make our final shape our final shader of the session.
Yes. So the room that so I saved it so we can have.
First, I'm gonna share the URL in the chat so that everybody jumps in if they want to. Like for the ones that want to join the coding at the same time. And be mindful that it might crash your browser. So maybe open a different browser than the one that you're watching the Twitch, just in case, like we did. So if it crashes, then you don't close your Twitch that you're watching, like the stream. Yeah. And be patient if so. Be patient. I mean, this is as you know, it's a work in progress. It's a work in process, and we're just very happy that Char wanted to share the tool that she's still working on today.
We're about to give you the room name. We're
Yeah,
about
I
to
can
be-
give it right now. I
Yeah.
just gave it.
Yeah,
All
perfect.
right.
Perfect.
JS
All right, guys.
It doesn't
Go
stand for
wild.
anything. That's just my.
Probably
Yeah,
I
let's
will
see if I
not
can-
do anything, just so hopefully it will not crash on my end. So I'll be happy to
I
see
just
what
want to see all the
everybody
little
do.
cursors pop up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I look
I'm
forward.
excited.
I see. I just need to. Anyone? I'll be
I will be
watching
watching the
apocalypse.
apocalypse. Yeah, me too, because I don't want my tab to crash. So I think I will not type, but I will observe.
Oh,
Is somebody coming?
yeah.
Oh, someone
That's
came.
speaking.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
By the way, don't be
Yay.
shy. Don't be shy because I know that maybe some people sometimes is shy to code with others. Like
No, after everything we've just
don't
talked
be
about,
shy.
don't be shy.
You can now tweak the colors, the movement.
Oh, also, if you
no
highlight
problem.
it, yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Cool.
Also, like if there's an error, you can check for it in the console. If you just open up the JS console,
Yeah,
then you can.
I did it
Yeah.
before on the Twitch. I don't want to do it now because I'm not sure if that affects my crashiness.
Yeah.
But everybody can do it. I didn't open
Yeah.
it right now.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that. I don't know how.
This reminds me of something you've done before, Alethea. I have the leggings of this shader.
Ah, yeah, true.
Oh, I need to
Similar.
get that. I want to get your shower curtain.
Oh my gosh,
yeah, please do. I'll be happy to see my art somewhere with you. So
I still need to like warm up properly so I can do an inversion and like post something fun with those leggings.
yeah, I would love to see
I'm
them.
so inspired by your physical
Oh, thank you.
physicality practice.
I never know if I should post if people want to like see that at all.
I do. I'm 100%.
I told Eliza, me too. I love yoga. So.
Thanks.
I mean,
I'm
I
working
don't
on
know
something with
but I
like
love it.
skeleton tracking and sound right now.
Whoa.
Cool.
And I want to obviously want to bring shaders into it. Duh.
Yes.
I just want to figure out how to do the outline. I think I can use body pics for that, where you like keep the body out, but then there's like a shader that's like enveloping you as you move.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I want to do that, and then use skeleton tracking to generate sound.
Cool. I look forward to seeing this project come up.
I like to see all these cursors. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's really cute. Everyone's just buzzing around. Midnight asks, will it provide different primitives from the vertex shader class? No, it will not. I mean, unless 3JS does that by default. I haven't.
Refreshing work, they said.
Not frozen here. Oh yeah.
By the way, thank you to everybody who has been with us until now. 15 people.
Yeah, this is another record-breaking stream. We went for 3 hours. Thank you to Char as well for giving us your afternoon.
Thank you, Char. Yeah.
Is it Char or Char? I never know if I'm saying.
I'm okay with both, but it's short for Charlotte, so I say Char.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't. I should have asked you at the beginning, 3 hours later.
Yeah, exactly. Not the end of the.
My bad.
No, it's okay. I honestly it's everything virtual. It's like I just read everyone's name. This is looking really good. I love whatever's happening.
Yeah, keep it up, people. Whomever is like, I don't even know. Can you count the people that is there? Because when I scroll, sadly it goes up, so I can.
I know. I need to fix that.
I see 3 people.
Okay.
Cool. Right now I see 3. I saw 4 for a while. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and hanging out. This was a refreshing. Oh, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
thanks everybody for coming.
It's built 3JS in the background for the shaders.
Yeah, I just used 3JS to like get the shaders, and I know I could use just like plain WebGL, but I think I was just trying to get it out the door, and also that's what Carl uses. So.
But 3JS is quite good, I must say. They are working like Mr. Dubis and his the people that helps him. They do releases quite often, I feel, lately.
Yeah.
So keep improving it. So, are you gonna put the video on YouTube? Yes, there's gonna be a replay. There's gonna be a replay on YouTube, definitely this time, especially since the sound works so well.
Yes.
As opposed to our last time. So probably the only time we didn't put lately a replay on YouTube was the last session because of that issue that we had with the sound. It was just horrible. So then it didn't make sense for us to put a replay on something that one couldn't listen to.
There was too much echo, But I did make a snippet edit because I like to immortalize them because they're so fun. But I don't know that anyone would have had the patience to sit through the whole thing with the audio that way.
And yes, Char made shader.place. I cannot say your name, but
Le jeune renard.
she did it.
Ooh.
That's why she's here with us today.
Yeah.
This was like
Wait, can you say that again?
His name?
Yeah.
Le jeune renard.
Oh God.
Le jeune renard.
Yeah, the young fox.
Legend.
Basically.
Oh.
Le jeune renard. The young fox.
Le
And for a long time, I
jeune
thought he
renard.
was French, but he's not French. Sean is not French, as
He's
far as
from
I know.
the US.
Yeah, he's in the States.
Oh, where?
I think
don't
he's
know.
near Chicago.
But I saw
think
his
so.
Instagram profile somewhere in the US, I think.
Nice.
He has to type in there if he's listening where he's from.
Le jeune
If he
renard.
wants to share. I don't know.
Do I have like a horrible American accent?
No,
No.
I promise not. I promise
Mhm.
not. No, really not. There are
No, I
people,
don't
and
think
also there's even people in French Canada that have terrible accents, and yours is not terrible. Yours is lovely.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Eliza can pronounce my name better. I'll take it.
Probably.
Chicago is a windy city. Right? That's Chicago. I only know because like
think so.
Oprah used to live in Chicago. It's like
Oh, sick.
I don't know,
much
but
of
I
their
love
neighborhood.
Chicago. I could live in that
Chicago's
city.
cool.
I
Yeah.
really loved it when I went there.
I've always wanted to go.
Oh, I love it.
If you go, you have to visit DADS, the Digital Art Demo Space.
I never
What?
went to
That's
that,
an awesome
so
name.
that's good to
The
know.
Digital Art Demo Space. I'm writing that
Yeah,
down.
they have it's like this guy, I think his name is like, he has like a cool
Where
name.
is
like
it?
Wolf. Where is it? I'm
Like
not sure.
downtown?
I think so, yeah. I think it's like in Chicago.
Okay, cool.
It's by this guy. I think his name is like Knife Stormson or something. Like he has a really nice, cool name. I forget
That's
his name.
awesome. Ooh.
I totally missed
Me
it.
gusta.
I really like what people is doing in the shader.
DADS is cool. Yes.
That's his cool. Okay.
Yeah, I got to perform there one time, and they have like it's
cool.
it's this couple's home, and then they convert it to an event space, and then at night they say, "Hey, everyone, go home," and then there's like a hot tub in there, and then like it just turns back into their house. It's really cool.
I did not know. Sean is like, the Windy City refers to the politics. I always thought the buildings were tall and that there was like wind tunnels. I had no idea.
You thought it was like, yeah.
Canvas. Are you referring to Matt Delorier's tool, Sean?
I have no idea.
Do you guys know Canvas?
Yes. I mean, I learned.
He made this like framework for creative coding where you can make patterns and use shaders and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't know if he means.
There's a ton of wind too.
The shaders.
Everyone was
No,
so
sorry, a
responsible
place in
with it.
Chicago. He meant Canvas as a place in Chicago.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, okay. But there's also Canvas Sketch.
Yeah.
If you want to check it out.
I know I do not know the place in Chicago either. All I know is DADS because I got to drive in for a show once and then we went back afterwards. Yeah.
Hello, Leah. Sorry, somebody popped in the chat.
Oh, is that Leah?
So, yeah, is it Leah? Hi.
Hi. Oh, can I ask you like a super random question, Char?
Yes.
I think I remember seeing on your Instagram, I can't remember when, but you did this like workshop or something on emails, and I've been meaning to ask you about that forever. Like, what is that about? And I'm very curious.
Yes. So one day I realized that email was the only method of long distance communication that I use on a daily basis that doesn't necessarily have to rely on a tech company or the government, because it's just it's just a protocol, SMTP. This shader's looking real nice.
So good.
Yeah. And so it was like, okay, but everyone hates email. Like if you bring up email, like you could hear like a collective groan in the room or whatever. And so, that's not email's fault. And so I wanted to like do like an investigation, like where did it go wrong? and how can we like kind of, I guess, examine our relationship with email? It's turned into more of like an art project than like, anything that's practical. But basically, I started looking into SMTP, how to do it. I made my own email server. It's terrible. It gets spammed immediately. Like if you send anything from it, it goes straight to spam. Okay. Because email is this kind of like Frankenstein of a protocol. Like I started off with SMTP, which is like the most adorable, most trusting protocol you've ever experienced. Like you just say who you are. Like you say like first you start with HELO. Like that's how you start the beginning of like an SMTP like so you connect to like the email port, and then you send the hello command, HELO, adorable, and then you can say just like who you are, like you say like your email, like hi, I am Char, or you can lie and you can say I am Yoda, and then that's called spoofing if you lie, because then it'll send it anyways, but it'll say it's from Yoda. Or like, you could do something more like malicious, like government institution or something. But there's no guards against that because SMTP is so forgiving. They had to put all these like extra things on top of it, like IMAPs and POPs. And so yeah, so I made my own email server, and the email server is mischievous in that it will like modify the things that you send. So I used to have it so that it would like translate it to another language and then translate it back to English, but then I was like, that's very English centric, and I didn't want that. and so I worked with 𝗙𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, who's our creative.
Who's your tutor TA? No?
Your friend.
Argentina, yes, my friend.
Yes.
I love her.
Yes. She was in the workshop, always like helping you, kind of in the break rooms.
Yes.
Wasn't she?
She was the one who helped me implement cosPalette with my gray marching thing. So I was like, what am I plugging in where? No, she's great.
Yeah. I think that she would be, if you're looking for more guests to have on.
I would love to have her.
She's like, Soul is like a amazing ray of sunshine.
Thanks for the tip, by the way. Because I'm just gonna say really quick, as usual, like there are few women or less in like tech general, like creative coding or development. So I'm always happy when I get to meet another woman. Nothing bad against dudes, but just speaking about role modeling as a woman, like I see myself more clearly if I see somebody from my like the person I relate to, so even when I super admire dudes, but then it's harder to see myself there, kind of like becoming in general, just like not only like because I'm doing creative coding, but role modeling in general. So anyway, I love hearing how you I love hearing how you both had like so many similar like interests and backgrounds, and it's like like having someone who can have like a similar like background and kind of like alternative I guess path into coding is it's always good to feel like you're not alone. We did an email workshop together, and Soul is like when you work with Soul, she like has like a million ideas, and so it turned into this like super like compact, like it was referencing so many different things. Like it was called epiphenomenal, but it was epiphenol male now, so it was like this. So it was like we're thinking about like the subconscious creating like a dogma. I could get more into it. Basically, it just ended up into this like long spammy email chain. It was just debuted on like that was just being used on like the my email server, Computer Faith. And so people were able to like subconsciously write emails to each other using this kind of like small playground of a shader, so we didn't like gunk up each other's like actual emails. But yeah, so that's the kind of like fun things I've been doing with email. I've been thinking about it and doing other stuff too, but that's the kind of the gist of it. That's awesome. I know I've been learning about the email history too. So if you ever need any email fun facts, I can whip them out real quick.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I know nothing about it other than I think I learned once that a lot of the rendering engines in email clients are actually Microsoft Word.
What?
Yeah. And that's why the layouts for emails are so retarded.
It's like
really bad.
It's internet 90s basically. So.
It's so bad.
Like email HTML has been like frozen in the 90s. Like if you try to write HTML for like an email, and this is why a lot of like clients like people will hate when you try to make HTML email. It's because it's like writing HTML in the 90s.
Yeah, with tables. Yeah. Like you have to
set
up everything in tables. So.
Yes, I'm not a fan of tables.
Me neither.
Or just I don't like doing emails. Period.
I love emails. I would love to like design something like pretty nice.
Designing, yes, but implementing a design is different.
I mean design code-wise. I meant. Sorry.
I mean, there is a framework that's MJML, which is supposed to make it a little bit easier because like responsive emails are hard and stuff. But
I think there are a couple of them. So of course, is nicer, so you don't have to code each table by yourself.
It definitely, yeah. See, Sean is saying it's probably the engine for Outlook. I 100%, 99.9%, I'm pretty sure that it is the rendering engine for Outlook at the very least.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like how sometimes like people will make like you know whatever like the Mona Lisa in like CSS or like
yeah.
I don't know why that reminds me or like
this woman is crazy. I think her name is Diane something, and she's doing like amazing CSS art, like paintings, fully paintings, like oil could be, but it's not a CSS. It's like so pretty.
I'm always really impressed with people's patience for that.
There's also like sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it seems like the shader frenzy calmed down, and I love the final result. I also loved all the in between stuff too.
No, I think it's great. I really like where everyone's kind of satisfied.
Yeah, nobody's typing anymore. Cool.
I think everyone's just admiring it. I might have missed it, but is the email project part of your research, Char? If not, what do you research?
So yeah, it's part of research. It's more of like an art project at this point. It kind of started off as research. So, and what I do research, it's kind of, I want to get more into research, but basically like a couple of like, okay, so my research like ranges. It ranges from like creating machine learning, like using machine learning in like novel ways, especially like using it to generate imagery or generate like the absence of like so if there is like a hole in like a picture, you can like generate like what is behind it. I do a little bit of that. I do a little bit of like while I was a research associate at the Robotics Institute at Carnegie Mellon, I was working on this like AR app that was also using machine learning. So you would be able to like, if you were like in a grocery store, it would like acknowledge like the aisle that you are in, and then it would make something AR happen in the aisle.
I really want to get more into machine learning. Continue.
Yeah,
yes. No, that's okay. And the other, but right now, so I really want to get more into research. I want to get more into like machine learning, specifically for VR, like AR, VR, XR research. But that's kind of like my 3 years goal. Yeah, right now I'm just I'm more of like a software engineer. That's what I do like my day to day. I'm less of a researcher these days, but I keep it on there because I want to be more researchy.
Same. I think I put that in my bio too. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Any excuse to dig into something. I'm just like, yes, that's it. I just want to be able to do that every day. Golan, hi Golan. Welcome to the
Oh my God, she came. Yeah.
Unexpected.
We were
glad to have
about
you.
We were talking about you.
I was gonna ask you, Char, you also did something, you did something with Snapchat, no?
Yeah, me too, I'm curious.
A residency?
Yeah.
What kind of residency did you do there? Did you create a filter for them or?
Exactly, yes. So they have, they're kind of releasing new features on the Lens Studio, like their creators tool to make lenses. And so they have this thing where they invite artists in, or rather, they like have artists come in and they use their like new tool, and then we release filters, and then they have like a little a showcase at the end. And I was also at their Lens Fest because I made that filter for them. And while I was there, they had just released their machine learning. I guess it was components. Yes, machine learning component, so that it can process like frames that come from. I think process frame that comes in from the camera, and I made it so that it would turn you into like a statue. Cool. And and that was a month long, but that was like a really great residency. I really would, that one you can apply to, and I would really recommend. Like I came in.
How did you get it, by the way? Did you apply or did you have a contact?
Yeah, so I did. It was kind of both. So I applied, and then I had a friend who had a friend in there, and I got to ask her questions before I got in. And if you ever want to apply, let me know. I can like introduce you to Sophia, who I know now. Have a professional relationship.
Cool. Thanks.
But yeah, I know Ilithya is looking for. Are you both looking for like residencies right now?
I'm looking for an artist residency. Yeah, I'm still debating what. I wanted to do it like in person, I think I told you back in January, I had the hopes that maybe by the summer I could do it like somewhere in Berlin, but now it doesn't seem that I will be. So maybe I should look for something remote.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. Yeah, I think you can get one very easily. Your persistence in your work is really admirable, and I also love the hashtag that you made, any day shaders, because I think that it's just like
no
super
pressure hashtag.
Yeah, I think that that's something that I think is what people want to see, and what actually the I think the creative coding world always needs to see more of that kind of like attitude and mentality.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah,
definitely someone
thanks.
to
Because I feel exactly like that with those challenges when I was learning, that a lot of like this daily, which I always say I have respect for people that can post every day dailies. But me, I tried it not last year, 2 years ago, and it wasn't working for me. And then I dropped the challenge, and then I dropped the learning because I felt like I couldn't like And then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna come up with a challenge that then I
any
force
day
myself.
shaders,
And then in
My
the
goal this
end,
year
I
was
was better
100.
because I was not forcing myself. I ended up doing more. So, but that's the way I work as well, because every person is different, and I work like that with like, if I know that I have no pressure, then I can produce.
Oh yeah, but
like
there's two different types of motivation. I was in like, if you look at like psychology, like the psychology of motivation, there's like two different types. Well, I'm sure there's many different types of people, but some people are really motivated by the time crunch and the pressure of, and the competitiveness, and then other people completely short circuit and are way more motivated by like having the free space to do when they feel called to do. I think I'm more like that.
Yeah, me too. Especially I was going to say in my free time, because I was thinking back of when I had pressure, like if I have a job, then I can deal with it. And sometimes it's like good to have like certain deadlines and then like, oh, I need to push and I'm good at it. But if it's in my free time, then I don't like this kind of pressure, because I'm like, it's not a job. It's like my kind of, you know, my free time. So that's what I prefer to kind of like feel that there's
what I
schedule.
started doing recently it's been really funny to see the way that, so like I do, like you guys know because you are on my Instagram, that I do yoga, right? And so like I have like a practice where I like show up every day and I do it, and I was like, I wonder if I could apply that. I mean, obviously but I had never thought about it. I was like, I wonder if I could apply that to like my like creative pursuits. So like,
I told you, do it.
But now I roll it counts as one thing now for me. So every morning I wake up and I do my like yoga, and then I just do some like shader and or some other creative thing that I'm working on. But like, it's funny because even if I don't have anything at the end of it to show you guys on Instagram or whatever, I still have something that I've like created. And it's weird because, I mean, it was surprising to me because the rest of my day, I'm like way more focused on like the other things that I need to do to like fill my fridge with food and whatnot. It's weird because all of a sudden there's this space. There's no more of that angst where I'm like, oh, I have to do this thing and I don't have time to do my art, and like, so it's very funny the way that it all kind of like coagulates together.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like everybody can find their schedule. Sorry, I just wanted to say that, because every person is different. Like they have their
everyone's
time.
super different.
Yeah, and even a lot of times I'll do stuff and it has like no immediate outcome, but then it'll like feed into something else. Like for example, like the smoothMod function that like I made that, and then the thing that I made it for, like I didn't really like go anywhere, or like it didn't really like, I didn't really like it that much. But being able to use it here was really rewarding, I guess. Like it didn't spend like so much time on making it, but you know, it was still non-zero. So
yeah, totally. No, it's funny because you can always use like maybe the thing that you think you're making it for isn't actually what it's destined for. Sean says, I've seen so many amazing people fail every day and feel bad about it. It's not important to do it every day. Persistent doesn't require doing something every day. Yeah, that's it. Persistence doesn't mean every day. It just means continuously coming back to the thing.
But I must say that I realized, like, the more you do something, that's, at least when I was like trying to learn shaders, it was hard to do every day as well because I was getting started. But now, for example, I think I have almost a year that I've been doing shaders, and now I'm faster. So now if I would like to do it like every day, I could, because I don't need to spend much time. So it's about finding as well. So because then I learned like, oh, this is why so many people sometimes they have years sharing like every day, because it gets easier. And then you find as well like your ways and your tools kind of like to make it even
Golan just
smooth.
threw a curveball though into the chat. Procrastination is where all the good stuff is at. Well, I feel so much better about myself suddenly. This is very validating. Thank you, Golan.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the
Oh,
shader froze for me.
Oh no.
No, did it? Oh yeah, on the stream I see it froze. Yeah,
Because
it does.
it's not frozen anymore, but it's just black.
Oh yes. Okay. Under third identifier on line 74, smooth mix.
I'm actually still seeing the animation.
Really? Yeah.
Well, that's probably because what it does is that when it doesn't compile, it'll default to like the last thing it could compile, and if
okay.
it just joined, there is nothing that
Okay.
is there.
Oh,
So we need to make sure that it can compile. Oh, because someone's doing smooth fix. Yes.
Oh yeah, because I do have the error.
There we go.
Oh, now I see.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Ooh, that's funny. Some noisy
that.
radial.
Whoa.
It's very trippy now.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it that I feel like we created like, I don't know, 5 different shaders or
Definitely.
today. So
quite the journey.
I really love it. So that we created so many.
I'm just gonna shout out that we're running on 3.5 hours almost, and I feel like maybe Char wants to do other things with her day. I don't know. I'm just offering that out there. That it's cool if you were to feel like maybe getting something to drink or using the bathroom or just like getting on with your day. Also fine. I don't want to like keep you on here forever, but
yeah, we can.
This has been so much fun, but I do have to eat lunch.
Yeah, because for you especially.
Yeah, but thank you for hanging out with us and sharing with us your tool. Like, it's super exciting, and I'm really looking forward to the beta and the comes after beta, theta, whatever, the full release. Yeah.
Me too. Thank you so much, Char, for being here today with us, coding, chatting.
Yes, I loved talking about, like, I loved hearing more about like your background and like how you got into creative coding and that.
Likewise.
And also like seeing people use the tool has been it gives me really great insight onto like what I want to work on next. And also if anyone has any feedback, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I will send you my feedback too after this session. I wanted to try it so that I can actually with you especially it was nice to like see it like ready. But everybody else, where should they send you the feedback, by the way? If people have some feedback, should they go to the GitHub repo or where?
You can go to the GitHub repo. You can also email me, Instagram me, anything. I check it all. I'm very much online, too much online. But my email is, I'll just put it in here because it's kind of the way
throw it in the chat.
And also we were just talking about how much we love email. Oh, awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Still on live.
So that's my email, contact@charstiles.com.
For somebody who's asking, by the way, maybe
one day
Bruno will be here. No, not maybe. It's a definite. We were talking about it, but I don't know when. We don't have a date yet. Yeah. But we don't have a date yet, so stay tuned.
No,
we have already,
Char has officially kicked off a wonderful series of guest invites that we're going to continue to have on. But
But you have to tell the people that there's not going to be only a replay this time, but probably as well a podcast.
Yeah, a podcast. That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm going to archive that just as an audio listen if you ever want to just listen to the conversational bits.
Which I thought it was a great idea because I personally listen to a lot of podcasts. So a lot of like walks or that I do, or if I'm doing something at home, I enjoy listening conversations from people. So I thought it was a great idea.
Yes. So for everyone listening on the podcast, we have a wonderful glowy shader that which has radiating out. It has kind of plasma looking. It looks like almost like a spider web that's coming in and out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really need to work on my descriptive.
No, this is wonderful. It's like I like spidery web better than, what did I say? It was like a noisy noise radial kind of. Yeah. I like spider web better.
Wonderful.
No, it's great.
Great. I didn't follow your live another time, but since last time I started learning shaders, I need to be better all of a sudden. Yay! I also need to watch it more consistently. I've only watched I want to because I never come in, I never get it because it's so early, and then so I just watch it in the replays. But I want to come in when it's like live and like chat.
Yeah, well, I think we'll probably end up adjusting the time, especially now with the summer. So
we're talking about it, me and Eliza, because now when it's summer, we want to be in the sun. So, and the sun is
If we're allowed
mostly
out of
in the
our
morning.
houses. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I'm not. But we could probably keep chatting forever, but I do want to
Yeah.
give Char the chance to eat.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm going to say goodbye to everybody and thank everybody for watching, and keep your eyes out for the podcast if you want to re-listen, and the replay if you want to watch the shader get built again and everything. And then we'll see you soon. And thank you again to Char for being so awesome and inspirational and sharing all her shader knowledge with us.
Inspirational. Right back at you. What's that like? Swap card.
Yeah.
And I want to ask Char, do you have anything else that you want to say before you leave? Like, is there like, if people wants to follow you that don't know, like, should they?
Or any like,
your Instagram or anything that you wanted to mention?
Anything you'd like to share before we sign off?
Follow your heart. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't really have much going on. I think if I usually have like a show, but I just had the show yesterday, so I'm just kind of chilling. I'm on social media. If I have anything coming up, I'll mess it there. I also have an email list.
I signed up. I'm very excited about it. When you announced, I was like, what is this list? I need to be on this list.
Emails more. I was going to do email about this, but then I got caught up into making the room feature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That actually came together like 30 minutes, or like actually 20, like it was like 17 minutes after we were supposed to meet. I like finished it anyways. But,
oh my
funny.
God.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So it's been so great. I'm so excited to see this grow, this stream grow, and hear more guests come on and see what is made. It's just really good stuff here. Really good like incubator for these new things to happen.
Thanks.
Thank you. Like hearts, like
hearts. Yeah, I have hearts coming out of my head.
Lots of hearts. And hearts to everybody in the chat. I'm gonna send some now.
Yeah, thank you for everybody who tuned in.
Oh, everyone's hearting.
Yeah, thanks for like the people who was here the 3 hours, for the people that just popped in, the people that came for 5 minutes. Like, we appreciate
the people listening
everybody.
In the future.
Exactly. Like, thanks for
we appreciate you all. All right.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks, by the way.
Yeah.